Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark, the #1 late night fandom show in the entire world, maybe the entire galaxy. You know how it goes. Today, well, I had to roll the intro twice because my pizza just arrived. I ordered food an hour ago, and it just got here. Just now. A whole hour. We are graced by 3Dub, and our surprise guest, Paigey, is here tonight.
Hooray!
Is he actually there?
Just kidding.
Is he
I'm
really
here.
there?
I'm here. I just wasn't too sure if you wanted me to speak then or now.
When have I ever controlled how you speak on the show? I mean,
Multiple times. You threatened to end the stream and shit like that.
So Paigey's arrived. We're gonna do a few things today. We're gonna look at a clip from Superman. I'm gonna look at the final Fantastic Four trailer. I think it's the final trailer, maybe possibly. We're gonna talk a little bit about Ironheart towards the end of the stream, and look at some cringe takes on Twitter. So people are happy. Look, the return of King Paigey. There we go, King Paigey. I don't know. Does that have a ring to it? King Paigey.
Well, you've been calling me the king for a while, but that's in a different context. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're going with that one. Anyway, we might have some other people show up. Darren is still on vacation, I think, until this weekend.
Yeah, he should be home tomorrow.
He did join us on. He did join us on Tuesday for a little bit, or Monday.
Monday,
but I'll probably head early tomorrow. Probably going to see Ringo Starr tomorrow for free. Ringo Starr, like a concert for Ringo Starr. What does
Does
that
he just
mean?
perform Beatles songs?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what have you been up to, Paigey? Because everybody's been asking about you and wondering where you are. So, what have you been
Flossing, dabbing. Sometimes on them haters. Sometimes just on randoms.
I'll probably cover my camera up so people don't have to watch me eat my pizza.
I don't know. Some people like that, I guess.
They do, but this is not ASMR. So, I do know that you sometimes eat when you're here and people are wondering what you're eating. But they know what I'm eating, even though they can't see it.
Well, I'm eating now.
3Dub, it
it's
is a
just
Domino's pizza, so.
Yay! Pan.
Yes. There's only two types of Domino's pizzas that I get, typically. I either get the pan or I get the thin crust. They do have a Parmesan stuffed crust. But Paigey did share a picture with me the other day of the promo they're doing with Superman. Is it Pizza Hut? Or Papa John's? Or which one is it?
Yeah, Papa John's here. It's Pizza Hut.
Yeah, so Pizza Hut is doing like a Superman promo in Australia. What is it called?
It's just, I think it's just one of their basic deals where you get like two pizzas and like two sides, but they're just slapped on Superman. It's not like there's no Superman jizz like there was Venom jizz.
Well, some people will be disappointed with that though. Or
SpongeBob jizz, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle jizz.
I wonder about if they're going to do Smurf jizz when they do the Smurf pizzas over there.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
I kind of expected like an S-shaped pizza.
Oh, that would have been really difficult, but also really cool. They could do S-shaped pepperonis.
Well, it should be easier to do with the design of the shield rather than the S.
You mean with the like the triangle of it or whatever? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So over here, the Fantastic Four has a pizza promo. We looked at it the other day with Little Caesars. Do you have Little Caesars in Australia? Little Caesars pizza. Apparently it's like four different, like the pizza's divided into four quadrants and it's four different, you can get four different toppings for $4.44 or something like that.
Our CC's closed down, so.
Oh, really? Speaking of Smurfs, did you read the whole cast and there's no influencer Smurf? Well, you know.
All right, pay him. They couldn't, I don't think they'd be able to open Little Caesars or any other pizza thing in Australia. I think it would die. Like, they're trying to start Wingstop in Australia. So one of them's opened in Sydney.
But they're up against KFC.
KFC, Red Rooster. And the thing is that like charcoal chicken is massive in Australia, especially like Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane. Like it's like Wingstop won't survive. Like it'll be a it'll be a fad for like oh I'll go there, but it's like expensive. Like when like you remember Wendy's opened up? I don't think they've opened up another Wendy's.
Oh,
I think
really?
it's still that basic one. I still haven't gone to it, and it's only like 10 minutes from me.
God. Double pepperoni.
You know, it'd be really funny if you drop that.
That wouldn't be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Not after I waited a fucking hour for it. The Domino's is literally a block away from my house. But when they
Is it cold?
No, it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit here, so no, it's not cold. It's fine. But which, speaking of, we'll talk about that in a second. But the Domino's is like a block from my house, and I saw the guy leave because you can track it like on your phone. The guy left and went the opposite direction of my house, so I had to wait for the boomerang. That's an Australian reference. I had to wait for the boomerang to come back for him to drop my pizza off. So.
It was not as bad as that. Remember that time when that guy just kept driving the opposite way? He just kept driving.
Oh, the time when they took the pizza and they never came. That one.
He just kept driving, and you're like looking at the map. Just
yeah, so that was really
away.
funny. We talked about that briefly. I'm not going to go over it all again, but I did order pizza from another place, like a new place, and the driver picked the pizza up and then drove like 5 cities over for me and just sat there and never came. And I'm like, I had to get a refund. I think they just ate the pizza. They took the pizza and ate it. So, all right, before we get into our trailers and stuff, we do have a super chat from Cameron, which, by the way, the goal, I didn't even look to see. What is the goal? The goal today is 10 super chats of teal or higher for the whole stream. And then you guys get to pick what's on the poll. I actually put the poll up first, 3 up, so you don't have to remind me to put it up. But have you seen the AMC website now prominently displays a reminder that all showtimes come with 25 to 30 minutes of previews? What the fuck? Is it just AMC? Is this just AMC? My theater doesn't do this, so I'm assuming it's just AMC then. It's not like Regal or any of the other ones.
Regal does it too. But it's entertaining, so I don't notice it.
Look, I like trailers, so I don't really care too much. I don't like ads when they have the ones that have like a lot of ads in it. I don't like those. But sometimes they'll do the ones that has like a little quiz or something that's kind of fun. But the ones that are like ads for local businesses, those really suck.
What really sucked is they do the ad, like on Regal, where they basically have a trivia, right? And then they replay it like 10 minutes later. I'm like, I already know the answer.
Yeah, they do that a lot around here. The funny thing is, Paigey, didn't you say that Australia doesn't run stuff before the movies? Like it just starts or whatever?
No, we do, but like it's not as excessive. You might get, I don't know, 3 trailers, maybe 4, and then
but you don't get ads, though, right? You don't. Get
it. It depends. They do like localized ads. So it'll be like if you're in a certain area, they'll advertise like a local business,
right?
And like that business will approach the cinema and stuff like that. But it sort of depends. But I'd say it's like maybe 3 to 4 movie trailers, and then like basic ads and stuff like that.
Nicole Kidman AMC ad. AMC is not smart. I know John Campea has been declaring war against theaters for extending the amount of ads played before movies. I'm curious if it has to do with that.
See, I don't think it'd be that much of an issue, but from what I know is that like the lights go out.
Right.
And that's the issue that people have, is that the lights go out.
And it makes you think the movie's starting and
well, it's just the fact that you're coming into the theater and the lights are out. And if it's like not a brightly lit thing that's going on, you can't see shit.
Yeah. I don't really have a big problem with like stuff before a movie. The only thing I don't like is like at least AMC is telling you, like whatever time the ticket says, you're gonna wait at least 25 minutes before the movie starts, right? So
yeah,
I don't have an issue with that. Now the theater I go to is a smaller chain, so they don't have all of that at the beginning, and they're a full restaurant and a full bar. So I think the theaters that are doing this are the ones that aren't making a lot of money. You know, the ones that are suffering because of ticket sales and stuff. And they're trying to make up with it for ads. Which is why a lot of the services, like on the Roku TV, you have like Tubi, you have all these other ones. They make more money doing ads than they do subscription tiers. Like, like a lot of these services that let you pay for no ads are actually losing money, to be honest. They make more money off of ads.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what else do we have? What does it say here? We're going to talk about this. We could pull this up in a second. Have you seen these castings for Street Fighter, Paige? Street Fighter movie?
I saw the 50 Cent one, and I think that might have been it.
Casting.
Yeah, I saw the 50 Cent one.
There should be like a full thing. Here's one for Deadline. I think it has everybody on it. Hold on. Let's see. They name everyone. I hate when they do these articles where it's like one person is announced and they just talk about that one person. It's like, name everyone. I'm pretty sure there's a tweet. Let me find a tweet here. Street Fighter cast.
Did they have to pay him 50 cents to play it?
Oh my god. All right. Yeah, we have it here. Let me share this on the screen. These are the ones I have right now. Whoops, this is the wrong one. There we go. Yeah, and Andrew Schultz is playing Dan. That's the only one that isn't on this little infographic that we have on Twitter. But here's the cast so far. I don't know some of these people. Like, you guys are going to have to tell me if you recognize...
well, there's folks. Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I know that. I know that person. So we have Andrew Koji as Ryu. What is he from? Does anybody know what he's from?
I have no idea.
Oh no, my face cam will be back on as soon as I'm done eating, Darren. But Andrew Koji, I don't know. Is it Warrior? Is there a show called Warrior? So I'm not too familiar with Andrew Koji. Let's see. We have look. We got Black Adam in the house here. The Black Adam shout out. Noah Centineo as Ken. I don't see him as Ken.
Is that just like an I'm just Ken reference, or is that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't see. Like, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. I don't see it though.
What's with the dude in the mask?
We'll get there.
Fucking Batman or something.
Like no. He's a country singer. We'll get to him in a second.
Well, does he wear a mask?
Yes. Yeah.
It's what is going on in America?
Part of his gimmick. But yeah, chat. Do you see Noah as Ken? I don't really see him as Ken. I don't know who I would have cast, but he wouldn't have been at the top of my list.
Do you see him as Barbie?
Yes, definitely as Barbie. 100%.
I with Street Fighter, like, there's only 3 here that I really know character-wise, and that's Ryu, Chun-Li, and Blanca.
Right.
I know you love Street Fighter because you used to play with Darkside Phil.
I did actually, not with him, but I played in tournaments that he was in, yes. Not with him, let's get it straight. And then we have Kalina Liang.
That's because he played with himself live on stream, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. Kalina Liang as Chun-Li. Does everybody know what she's from?
She's literally has 4 credits attached to her. She was in Tell Me Everything TV series, Foundation, 1 episode.
Oh, wait. I watched Foundation. I've probably seen her before then.
She played a young Rue.
Okay.
She was also Chloe in Presence, and she was Lin Kang in Bad Genius.
Okay, I don't know any of those other ones. And then we have Jason Momoa as Blanca. Now, I wonder, are they just going to paint him green? Is that what they're going to do? They're just going to paint him green?
They're painting him gray for Lobo, right?
I guess. Blanca's a tough one because I would always assume that in today's movies and stuff, they'd be some amount of CGI to Blanca. But I can't imagine you would hire Jason Momoa to just cover him up. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because I would not expect them to put him in a movie and pay. Because if you look at this list of actors, he's going to be one of the highest paid ones. So I can't imagine they would hire him just to put him as a voice on a CGI character. So there goes that. Then we have Orville Peck as Vega, who is funny because Vega wears a mask in Street Fighter and Orville Peck wears a mask as a country singer. So
why does he wear a mask? I don't get this.
It's just a gimmick. He used to be in like a hard rock band, and then he went country and he started wearing a mask because he didn't want anybody to know, I guess, that he was in this other band first, and then it used to be a lot more. So the mask you see now, let me show you a picture of like the old mask he used to wear, because he had a different one. Let's see.
Is it like country Slipknot or something? Like, what's going on? Like?
So here's what he used to wear. Let me show you. Share screen. Remove this one. I have to be careful because you never know what you're going to find when you search stuff. Right there, like the big one with all the tassels on it and stuff. That's what he used to wear. So it used to be a lot more, and then slowly over time he started like revealing more and more and more. So
like country music is the one genre of music I just can't take seriously, and that doesn't help.
Yeah,
that doesn't help.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that like over time now he's kind of stopped wearing it. I mean, he does wear it like as his gimmick thing for performing, but he doesn't wear it anymore like all the time. So, all right. Then we have 50 Cent as Balrog. Thoughts on this one?
Pity.
Somebody was saying that like his casting makes it hard to take it seriously. But I would say it's Street Fighter. I mean, are we taking it seriously anyway? Honestly?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going into this thinking like, oh, it has to be overly serious, what were you thinking in the first place?
All right. And then we have Roman Reigns as Akuma.
I'm guessing he's a wrestler.
Yes.
See, I disagree. I'm a spooky kitty. I think the best country song, at least from what I know, is Ram Ranch. I think that goes really well. I think it really sums up the country music genre, but also obviously leans into a bit of a harder rock as well. But I think it really sums up the country music experience.
Yeah. Cash says this is going to be the wonkiest Street Fighter movie ever, even more than the original. I don't think there can be anything wonkier than the original Street Fighter. That movie was just not... It's like so bad it's good. I don't think... If this movie is going to be bad, it's just going to be bad. I don't think it'll be so bad it's good, to be honest.
The Legend of that one? Or
no, not The Legend of Chun-Li.
Okay.
Andrew Koji was Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. Oh, I didn't know that, but that makes sense now. I felt like they were going to cast somewhat serious for like Ryu because that's kind of his personality anyway. Everybody else seems to be just sort of like random castings. I mean, Orville Peck was cast as Vega because he wears a mask as a country singer. I mean, is that where we're at with that one? I guess 50 Cent as Balrog makes sense, but I mean, I feel like doesn't he have like his own production company? Doesn't 50 Cent have his own like TV production company?
Yeah, because he does that power show, so
yeah,
he'd have to.
I feel like they had to offer him a lot of money to do this. I'm pretty sure
50% profit. Just kidding.
Oh gosh. Cameron with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. We are 3 out of 10. The only time I listen to country music is Beyonce. So, did you see, just a little side note from this, that they changed the way awards are given out because Beyonce won a country award? That's how petty it is with the whole Beyonce thing.
Yeah, but her shit was awful as well.
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to judge because I don't like country music. So.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but
so
it was like
I'm not a very good judge of what's good and what's bad.
Yeah, I don't think there's songs where you almost wish you were the Flash, where you could speed to the fucking just to turn off the speaker,
right, yeah.
like that. This ain't Texas. Holy shit, that makes me.
Well, to be fair, that's one of the worst songs on the album. I've played almost all of them. There's like better ones on the album that are much like more songs you can sing along to. Texas Hold'em is like a line dance song, so there's not a lot of.
Isn't it square dancing?
So. No, line dancing. You don't know what line dancing is?
Was that when you did the hoedown thing?
No.
Oh no, sorry, that was called the slut drop. My bad.
Oh yeah, that one.
That's what.
No. Line dancing is extremely popular now. It used to be like thing people did at weddings and stuff, but now it's like everywhere. People do it all over the place in the clubs. There's a song right now called "Boots on the Ground," which is I get it requested every single night. It's like an every night song for me, to be honest.
What, boots scooting? Was that
No, Boots on the Ground by 803 Fresh. It's called.
Was that Boots Scooting, baby?
That one is no longer. I don't ever get that requested anymore. So that's completely out of the picture.
Is that too dated now?
It's just not something people ask for anymore. I'm sure there was a point where
maybe you should bring it back, Eric. You have the power.
You think so?
Yeah, just make it up. It's like almost like just like when you're at the club and you're DJing, just like point out someone that like didn't tip you or something, and go, that person requested Boots Scooting back, and then you play it, and then you'll bring you back in, but you're throwing the blame onto someone else in case it doesn't work.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Jake has arrived.
I have arrived, and StreamYard didn't fuck me over this time.
Well, did you start up your graphics thing before or no?
No. I just came in and was gonna see how it went. So what do we got?
That's good news then. That's good news. Before we move on to the next thing, did you see the casting for Street Fighter? And if you did, do you care about Street Fighter?
I did see the casting. I am lukewarm when it comes to Street Fighter. I played some of the older games on like Super Nintendo back in the day. Haven't played a lot of the recent ones. It's not my favorite fighting game franchise,
right?
But I don't dislike it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. The one I'm the most curious about is what they're going to do with Jason Momoa, because I'm pretty sure he's one of the biggest. Like, they're paying him one of the bigger paychecks to be in this movie. If they're going to just like make Blanca like CGI, I don't see why they would do that. But
Seth Rollins as Akuma, though, that looks interesting.
So Seth, you mean Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, wrong wrestler. Sorry, wrong wrestler.
Yeah.
Wrong wrestler. I don't know why I said Seth Rollins.
We're gonna move
Roman
on.
Reigns is Akuma.
We're gonna move on to a really important statement here from everybody's favorite influencer, which is Soups, Matt Ramos here. So he says he saw the Superman movie, and he's gonna tell us about it in a minute and 25 seconds. So let's hear what he has to say about Superman, because I'm sure it's gonna be very, very insightful.
I'm alive. I'm breathing. It's the morning after, and guys, I've seen Superman. I want to be very careful with this video because I'm not allowed to talk about the film. Last night when I got home, I recorded an out of theater reaction, and I have so much to say.
Okay.
But I can't say it until July 7th. The night of July 7th is when this embargo ends. Everyone who has seen the film is under that embargo because Warner Brothers really wants to prevent spoilers getting out there. And somehow things are still finding a way. There are spoilers already getting out there on the internet. So guys, try to stay clear of it all.
Well, that's because they're inviting influencers.
Right, and I don't think it's a good thing that they're lifting the
right. Like, I mean, let's be fair here. I don't expect him to do it, but there's a lot of influencers that just don't care.
Oh, I mean, I've also seen people, like going back as early as October of last year that tried to lie and say they saw an advanced screening of this. So.
Right. Well, I do want to point that out when we're done with this video. Let's just get through this last, 30 seconds.
And I'm just feeling really grateful. I'm feeling, grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for you guys.
All right.
And again, July 7th is when I'm dropping that content, and there's going to be a ton more content to come. But I kind of just wanted to make this video to let you guys know I'm safe, I'm okay, I made it.
All right.
And in time, we will talk about this movie.
All right. So I'm going to take a second here, but I want to defer to you guys. Does this kind of promotion help? Do you think this kind of stuff helps the movie or no? Just curious. You can be honest. If you think it does, just say it does. I don't know. What do you think?
No.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
It's mostly because I don't like taking people's word for it. So I basically want to find out for myself.
Like, I mean, look, it doesn't help that they're bringing influencers onto it, let alone like this early. Also, they're lifting the review embargo a week early. There's a lot of issues I have with the way that it's being promoted.
Okay, I don't have an issue with him. I mean, he's usually very like hype. Like that's what he does. He hypes a lot of stuff, and that's fine. My issue is I do not appreciate when people make videos vague booking like stuff.
Yeah.
I find it to be really annoying. It bothers me more than anything. It doesn't make me excited to see something. So he made a 1:25 video to tell us nothing. To say, I've seen it, you haven't seen it, but I've seen it.
I can't tell you what I saw.
Right. I feel good to be alive, blah, blah, blah. The embargo lifts on this date, and then I'm going to tell you about it. Like, this video didn't move the needle for me. And I think that's one of the issues with this influencer-driven promotional situation is it doesn't feel curated and streamlined for DC and Warner Brothers. So I'm a little bit like, I don't think that these kind of promos do very much. And the reason why I even played it is because he titled it, I Have Seen Superman. So you would think you would click on the video and he would say something about it. Anything. Because you could talk about what the impact of the movie without spoiling anything.
Generalities.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't appreciate it. Paige, do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean, in regards to promotion and like it helping the movies and stuff like, or even a TV show, there's no proof that it helps it, but there's also no proof that it harms it at the same time. So it's just one of these things where it's almost like a neutral effect. It's more just to lean into the publicity side of it rather than, I guess, results with the numbers coming in at the end of the day. But this, people posting this stuff allows it to trend and everything like that. So though you might not see a direct correlation between this video and then someone going to see it in theaters, it can maybe help with the trending side of it or whatever it might be. The thing with it is that it's just when it comes to like disingenuous things and stuff like that. So I can speak from experience. So 2 years ago with the Flash thing, I got to see the movie like 2 months early, but I didn't get off. So I can tell you, I got paid after the fact to help with some promotional stuff, but it was after I already saw the movie and done my thoughts and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't like a hashtag WB partner until after I'd seen the movie and a bunch of other things. And this is maybe like 2 weeks after that, maybe 3 weeks after, something like that. And my whole thing was just like sort of like one, I guess, somewhat promoting the movie, but two, it was like that when they do all those fan early screenings, I did this thing where I posted stuff and you can enter here to go see the movie early. Those type of things.
Right.
I won't tell you how much I got paid for it. It was way more than it should have been. But if I was paid that point for such a small thing just within Australia, I can't imagine how much someone like Soups and some of the other people are getting paid in America.
Just to make like a 1:25 video talking about it or whatever.
I can't tell you how much they would be getting paid, and they get to see the stuff early. Like,
I am curious. Hold on, let me do a little digging while we sit.
Look, so I'll type in the private chat.
Yeah.
How much I got? It is Australian, so,
okay.
But that's how much I got paid to do fuck all. Fuck all in the private chat. So imagine how much.
What the fuck? Oh wow. My god. Okay. All right.
For the Flash as well.
Right. So
imagine how much they're getting paid to Superman in America.
And you didn't even have to strip.
Well, at least not publicly. So what, like the American population is like 12 times the Australian population?
Right. Wow. Okay, so TikTok pays the least amount of money for influencers per post.
Yeah.
YouTube and Instagram have the highest payments for post. The movie studio wants exclusivity, so no competing promos, meaning that most of these people would have to pick whatever movie it is they're going to do this for without taking money from someone else. So whatever movie comes out around the time of Superman, I'm assuming they probably say you can either pick Superman or you can do something different. You can't do both of them.
And I can tell you, with that thing, like with the Flash thing, I got offered the exact same thing for Blue Beetle. But I didn't think Blue Beetle looked good. So I didn't accept it. I was like, well, I don't want to lie.
Right.
Because I didn't think Blue Beetle looked very good. I think the actual movie itself is better than some of the promotional shit. But overall, like, I didn't think the movie looked very good. I think the thing with this Superman thing is it's going to be, like, I've sort of just been ignoring it. Like, it's out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what, exactly 2 weeks? Whatever it is. It's going to be nauseating in 2 different ways. The nauseating glaze, because let's be honest, I think everyone knows this movie's not going to be 10 out of 10. Like, everyone knows it's not going to be 10 out of 10. Like, the trailers, like, just some of the, like, little things you see with, like, the Justice Gang, it looks a bit shitty.
Well,
like,
we're going to watch, after this, we're going to watch the clip with
I mean?
Lex Luthor. Yeah,
But,
we're going to watch that after this, so.
I have
the dog clip.
Yeah.
I have 0 doubts that this movie will be at least, like, an 8 out of 10. I don't see this movie being crap. I don't see this movie being mid. I don't see it being, bad. I see it being maybe 7.5 if I have to be, like, overly, like, lenient downwards.
Yeah, go ahead, Paige. Sorry.
I was gonna say, just so like the nauseating glaze, where it's like, oh, it's a bit, but also just like the like nauseating like forced hatred and stuff like that is just gonna make like the next, well, not even 2 weeks. I was gonna like pretty much the next month, like just before the movie comes out, and then obviously like the week or 2 to follow, just annoying. Like, and it's just one of the things where you have to make up your own opinion. Like.
I suspect we'll see like promos. If Rotten Tomatoes scores end up being good, they'll just be blasting that out.
And at the same time, like, I'm sorry, like I have nothing against soups and everything, but if you're using soups as a like some sort of like key indicator as to whether you should go see a movie, I think, God, I think you might need to check yourself in with good old what's her name? Fucking what's her name?
Randolph.
Nurse Ratchet, what's her fucking name? Like,
I don't know who you're referencing.
The nurse from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, that is Nurse Ratchet. That's it.
Check in with her because, like, I'm sorry, you've lost your marbles if you're using soups as a reference point.
It's also annoying how people are under this delusion now that something being any less than 10 out of 10 suddenly equals bad movie. It's like, no.
We talked about that. Yeah.
There are plenty of movies, comic movies, whatever, section you want to use that are not perfect by any means, but are not bad. So
I think a movie just has to be good for me. I don't need it to be a 10 out of 10. As long as I have a fun time at the movie, I don't mind,
And to be successful, it doesn't need to make Deadpool and Wolverine levels of money.
So here's the interesting thing. This is from like movie agencies, like booking fees and stuff. It says here, many influencers who have reps negotiate higher fees, right? So a mid-tier YouTuber starts out at 250K followers or higher, doing a 2-minute or less creative promo for a big movie at start base level is between $5,000 and $15,000 a video for that. Damn. Now, if you're somebody on TikTok who has a dual following, or you have 3+ million followers, get ready for this number. If you're a channel or an influencer somewhere with 3+ million followers, like YouTube and Instagram, usually you get paid anywhere between $50,000 and $150,000 for a few minutes of branded movie content.
That's through YouTube and Instagram?
Yes. TikTok is a lot less. It says here TikTok would be between 10,000 and 25,000 for that same amount of like influence. But I mean, to be fair, that's still a ton of money. So I mean, like, it's not as much, but it's a ton. So influencers are getting like crazy money for just making these like little short clips.
Yep.
So Cameron with a $10 super chat coming through. Thank you, Cameron. I forgot to say this on Monday, but on Monday was the 21st year anniversary of White Chicks. Oh my God.
Oh God.
And I rewatched the movie a couple of days ago on my birthday. Look, full disclosure, I love this movie. Like, I think it's a funny movie. I think it's hilarious. They supposedly they're doing a sequel, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like some movies just need to be like what they are. Like, we don't need a follow-up to certain movies,
like,
you know what I mean?
We don't need a Goonies 2,
Right, exactly. But I will say this, it's going to be interesting to watch them do White Chicks in 2025. or whenever the movie comes out, because a lot of jokes don't work anymore, and it's just one of those things where, you know, what 20 at this point, like a 23, 24-year-old movie when it comes out, how is that going to work? How is that humor going to land at this point?
Yeah, that's like,
you know,
like it came out like right after, you know, a post 9/11 time, so it's just going to be different than how that sort of movie is received today, with today's modern audience being as easily impressionable as they are.
What's up, Tony? How you doing? Okay, so there's a lot of discourse around this trailer, or that's not a trailer, it's a clip. It's a 37-second clip from from Superman. Has everybody seen this one yet?
No.
That's the one where he's asking about the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. We're going to watch this clip. It doesn't really give away too much about the movie, but it's just a short clip. This might get taken out of the stream because a lot of these clips get removed usually.
For DC property, yeah, typically.
Yeah, so it might be missing from the stream if you're watching this on playback. So if that happens, the clip's all over the internet. So anyway, here we go. We're going to watch it straight through. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be...
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
That's right, you get all of this.
Where's the dog?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's just a dog.
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog and king?
What did you say?
Oh, yeah, that's going to be...
All right, so what I'm seeing is a lot of people are pissed off because Superman is angry. There's a lot of people mad because they're saying...
They love Cavill.
Yeah, they're saying he's too angry and aggressive. And
oh my God,
they're mad.
Mind.
There's mad that he asked Luthor to repeat himself because apparently he's got super hearing. So the phrase "What did you say?" doesn't mean anything to them, even though people say that all the time when someone says something shitty to them. They're like, "What did you say?"
And when you hear them perfectly, you're like, "Are you going to say that again?"
Yes. So that's what that is, right?
Right. Like that. It's not hard to perceive. It's not hard to
so that seems to be the issue that people have with this. Plus, there are people saying that it looks like a bad shot, the editing is bad, blah blah blah, all this shit. I truly believe we have reached an era, and it used to be one of those things. Paige and I would talk about it a little bit back in the day, but I think we've reached a point where there's just going to be people that complain about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to why they pick certain things to be mad about. They're just going to be mad about everything.
Just because hating has turned into such a popular thing.
It's not popular, it's profitable. That's the thing. A lot of these accounts have blue check marks. A lot of these YouTube channels are monetized. Being mad at something generates money because you get both groups of people, right? You get the people that want to be mad along with you, that jump in on the hate parade, and you get the people that are mad at you for shit-talking something that they're happy about. So they're hitting both demographics. That's why it's so successful. And YouTube and none of these platforms seem to have any responsibility over curating content like that. You know what I mean? Like going after people that are doing that kind of content. So it just kind of runs wild on a lot of places, especially on Twitter.
Yeah.
Especially on Twitter. But I think the clip looks good. Again, Paige, even after seeing this, you still think this movie is going to be like an 8 out of 10, right?
Yeah, I just don't see anything that's been released so far. And I haven't seen everything, but I saw this before that, and I saw something else. Maybe it was another clip. It might have been the Daily Planet clip or something like that. I saw something else.
Yeah, that was the one.
It looked fine. Like, it doesn't blow me away. It doesn't make me counting down the days. But I know the movie's out in 2 weeks, and I'm going to watch it. Maybe not opening day, but within the first 2 days. I'll probably go Friday night or something. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, there's nothing like...
Can you pull that back up?
Yeah.
I mean, like... I think the only thing is that maybe that's the only thing that maybe I could be concerned about, but I also don't think it's that concerning, is that I haven't been wowed by the trailers. They haven't floored me. Like, I do think Fantastic Four is doing a better job promoting its movie.
I would agree with that.
In regards to the movie stuff, but Superman is doing a better job in regards to just like having the actors out there. That's because, the biggest issue with that is like no one fucking knows who the actors are.
Mm.
Yeah,
like no one does. Like Nicholas Hoult is probably the most known person in the movie. Maybe Nathan Fillion, and
yeah, like they were all on a
Even
stage.
then.
A little kid in a Superman shirt came down and hugged David. I saw that in a presentation where it was David, James, and Rachel. It might just be me, but in that shot we just saw, the suit looks better than it does in most shots, at least to me.
I think they did a lot of cleaning up in post-production on how the suit fits. I think that's why. I think they went through and tightened it up a little bit. Yeah, Lance, I said something about it already. I mean, if they're going to ask me to remove it, I'll just remove it. I don't care too much anymore. Now that StreamYard leaves comments up on the screen, I don't really care too much. The most annoying thing was when I would edit and then the comments would disappear forever.
Yeah.
So
You'll probably get a thing as soon as you finish stream on your watch and says like stream has been blocked.
Yep. And you have to remove it. Okay, fair enough. Let me see here.
I mean, despite the shirt I'm wearing, I don't think this movie is going to be 10 out of 10 either, but at the end of the day, I'm not going into it hoping for a 10 out of 10. I'm just hoping for a good movie.
Oh, I saw this here. This is it's a Cringe take. Hold on, look at this. Acclaimed movie critic and media influencer Grace Randolph affirms that kids do not care to see the new Superman movie after seeing a boy disliking the new trailer at the theater.
You said Grace Randolph. I already know it's a Cringe take.
A mom asked his kid. Wait,
what?
A mom asked his kid
what the
if he wanted to see it, and he said no.
ChatGPT has failed this user.
Yeah. I feel like it's conflicting there. Anyway, I don't know about this. I also saw some people posting like pictures of a lot of the toys being on sale already. And I don't think they understand how merchandising works in stores.
Do we do know this is Culture Fake, which is a parody account, which is
it is, but that particular quote is
that merchandise being on sale. I don't understand why people are getting up in their feelings about that. They sell those collections.
Let me see if I can find
deals.
them. Actually, I want to see if I can find it. There was a picture where somebody was sharing it or whatever.
That same thing. I'll admit. I'll be one of the people that admits this. In 2023, I was going through a Walmart, and I don't know what the branding is, but those little miniature toys where they're in like the circular boxes with the little points and curves on the top of those box shapes. I saw, because they had toys from the Flash movie out there, and I passed by a Keaton Batman one, and they were charging those for like $5-6 a pop. And I said, you know what? If I can find all the other ones in this set within the next few minutes, I'll get them all for like 30. If not, then I'll just leave it. Found them all there for like 30, and like those were bundles.
So here it says Superman toys are already on clearance at a local Walmart several weeks before the movie opened. This doesn't tell me anything.
That kind of box down there where you see him doing like this, that's the kind of box I'm talking about.
Yeah. So this doesn't tell me anything. Let me explain a little something to you, because anybody that's worked in retail knows about this. And although it's been a minute since I did retail work, I do remember how clearance worked in my store.
Yep. Same
So
here.
I was a manager of a store back before I was like DJing full time. And what happens is the company orders whatever amount they think they can sell. So they will order X amount of this product, and then if it underperforms in selling, like the merchandise being sold or whatever, they need to make room for the next thing they're going to put in their stores, whatever that is.
Right.
So they sell it still at a profit, because even though these toys are like $4.99 a figure, they probably paid 50 cents for it.
Yeah. And to Lance's point down there in the comments, they wouldn't put things like that on a clearance rack yet at this time.
Right.
So you can tell it's just fake images to rile up people, and it's
Yeah.
job apparently.
I wonder if they moved those products.
They could.
over.
That's what I'm saying. This doesn't tell me anything. Even if it is real, right? It doesn't matter, because the store has already purchased the items. They've already purchased them from DC, right? So that doesn't matter. However, with these kinds of pictures, I've seen where they take and move things around the store and put them into sale sections, like clearance sections. I can't remember the last one that I saw. It was like I think it was a game I don't remember what game it was. Maybe Dragon Age or something like that, where they took the game and stuck it in like a 50% off bin or something like that to try and make it look like it wasn't selling or something along those lines.
That happened to me with that Turbo Man thing in the box I showed you. I found that on a clearance rack, and it was still almost $40. So that tells you how much they were charging for it. Can you enhance on those, by the way, the ones with them going like this?
Let's see. So I can't really tell.
It doesn't say Superman though.
Hold on.
It does say Superman.
But I'm wondering what the QR code says, like when I click on it.
The item tag is Superman.
That's funny.
Is that going to be able to pick up the QR code?
I tried. It's telling me it can't detect it. Hold on.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you go down? Is it just me, or do some of those toys look like they don't have lining on the costume?
Oh yeah, these ones don't. Like I've already looked at some of them. They're basically just like the old toys without lining.
Yeah.
On it.
But
going back to what I was saying though, when you work in a store and you have overstock of something, you sell it at a slightly lower amount to clear it out. That's why it's called a clearance. So you make room in your storage area for new things that are coming in.
Right.
They're still making money off of this, and they've already purchased it from DC. They've already purchased these things. So they paid whatever that rate is to DC or whatever toy company made this, Hasbro, whatever it is. They've already paid for these items.
Mattel probably got in on this too.
Well, yeah. I mean, so the company, they're not taking a loss on this, you guys.
Nope.
Even when stuff is down to like $1.50, they're still not taking a loss on it. Chances are they paid a very tiny amount because they're ordering so many of them at a time, which is why they do that. When I worked in a music store, we paid for the CDs that people would go in and pay like $20 for back in the day. The music store paid like $1 for that CD. It's like it was like $1, maybe a little bit more if it was like a really popular artist or something like that.
Yeah, that's how it was for me whenever I worked at this place that sold, like old DVDs, older game cartridges. Depending on like the popularity of the thing at the time, that's what the price would be judged on for those older products. So if we were, like selling an older game that was not well regarded, maybe it would go somewhere from like 4 to 10. But if it was a more popular game or one that more people loved, you would see it go from like 20, 30, 40. There are some older games in there that would go for as high as, and I'm not joking when I say this, $220. But it's at those places where you get a bunch of bundle things, see what kind of deal you can make. And they have one day in the year that's like Black Friday where it's 20% off of all of their game-related products. But if you're trying to get something in there that's like a collector statue or a piece of hardware, then you're out of luck.
Were you laughing about something, Paigey?
The thing I sent you the DMs.
In DMs? All right, hold on. Let's see. What? Oh, I can't play that. It's got music in it. I can't play that.
But do you know what the song is?
Yeah. But I mean, like, I can't play it.
Scroll into the first reply.
Yeah, it's funny, but I can't play it. Music will get claimed to me. That could shut the stream down, though. Honestly, the music could. No, music gets claimed super easy. So. Cameron with a $5 super chat. So we're 5 out of 10, everybody. Thanks to Cameron rolling through and just like dropping dollars out here. Eric, have you seen Mind's Eye actor speak out about the game being broken? No, but I have seen videos of how fucked up that game is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. NPCs just standing there while you like attack them and they don't do anything. It's really bad.
On some of those face models.
Yeah. Hey, Darzen, good to see you.
Awake in the morning outside.
But yeah, so I don't know. I did see they were offering refunds immediately for this game. I think as soon as it came out, they were like, you can get a refund for it. So was this a download only game or was there actually any physical copies?
I think there were physical copies of it.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. We haven't watched the trailer yet. We're going to watch it in a minute. I haven't seen it yet. So, but everybody kept telling me to watch it. So we're going to watch it. All right, let's talk about this quickly. So, Peter Safran weighed in on the whole Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman stuff. I'm glad Darren isn't here because he's so over talking about this movie, the Batman Part 2. He's so tired of talking about it.
I'm kind of there with them.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see what Peter Safran says about this. I think we've been very clear about Batman. We love Matt Reeves, and we're dying to do Batman Part 2. Like I said, we're always going to do some projects that are primarily auteur-driven. Those are projects that we call Elseworlds. Obviously, we need a Batman in the DCU, and so we're developing ours as well. Even though Matt's movie is under our tent and part of DC, we'll do Batman Part 2, hopefully when Matt is really ready for it, when he turns in the script, and then we'll also do our Batman and Robin story, The Brave and the Bold. You notice that part at the bottom when he turns in the script? Like, I thought the script was already... I thought, like, last week the script got turned in. And this is from today. So... look, my estimated date for that film was 2028. I'm pushing it back further now. I think it's going to be, like, 2029.
I've been calling 29.
2029.
So
Almost a decade after the first movie came out, Robert Pattinson is going to be... The film is supposed to take place right after that first movie.
Yeah, he's not playing a young Batman anymore. But no, I found it funny that I knew... So I was going back and forth for a while. I was like, okay, one of the Batman films, whether it's the Batman Part 2 or Brave and the Bold, I said, okay, one of these is going to get pushed to 2029. And then, I started getting a little bit scared. I was like, I don't want to wait all the way until 2029 for DCU Batman to make his debut, but then it doesn't. It looks like that's kind of flipped now. And
wasn't that a quote from Gunn, though? I believe he read it as a quote from Gunn. Wasn't it one of his quotes? We covered it the other day.
Yeah, I believe that's what Gunn
I'm pretty
said.
sure it was from an interview with him.
Mm-hmm. It was from Hollywood Reporter.
So now he's saying that wasn't real?
Wait, was that in the Rolling Stones article or the?
No, it was an updated. It was a podcast that he was on.
Okay.
He was on a podcast, and it was a quote from that podcast because I remember it being linked on YouTube, and I clicked on it to hear what he had to say. So was he saying that they miss? I mean, it was a podcast. He said it on the podcast.
Like you can misinterpret somebody's words as.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Is somehow we misinterpret.
Do you want the real answer with this? And I probably think it's right.
What's that?
I think in regards to how fast they get the DCU Batman into the thing is how Superman does. If Superman doesn't do amazing, and it's like, fuck, we need probably another bit of a...
They're going to rush this one out? This
steroid hit, if you want to put it, like a bit of an adrenaline shot. Here's the Batman casting. Here's probably the Wonder Woman casting, and they'll speedrun it. They're not going to speedrun the movie itself, but speedrunning who's playing him.
I have a theory as well, and it's kind of similar to yours. Maybe not exactly like yours, but...
What, the porn parody thing?
No, not that one.
Oh, my bad.
There's already a bunch of that out there anyway.
Well, yeah, fuck. Don't remind me.
I mean, Lance has all of it. We'll have to talk to Lance about it. I'm sure he has all of it.
No, but he's got that weird hentai stuff.
So, I have a feeling, and this is just my thoughts. If Superman underperforms, I don't think there's any reality where it flops. But if it underperforms, right? If it doesn't do what they want,
it depends because it's like people will go, "Oh, well, underperforming is it not hitting $1 billion? Underperforming is it not hitting 900
million? It didn't hit $1 billion, so it underperformed. Whatever.
Right, and people also want to lump underperforming and flop in the same category when they're not.
Right. Yeah. So I think if Superman underperforms, their way to get out of it without it sounding bad is a lot of Elseworld movies. So, like, a lot of the projects they've announced will turn into individual films. It won't be a shared universe. So everything will just be done as individual movies in Elseworld, and every once in a while they'll tie in together.
Oh, I agree. I like that. That's what I think they'll do if the DCU fails.
Yeah,
they'll just go. It'll be just like, I don't even know if there's a prior example, but it's just essentially, I guess you could argue maybe what Star Wars is doing at the moment, where everything feels like it's on its own thing. And
but that's what I think this will turn into, is just a bunch of individual films, and some of them will connect and some of them won't.
Well, this one does have a little bit of things going for it, where You're putting this Superman in a lived-in universe, and the big difference between this and there's a lot of differences, but when you're talking about a shared cinematic universe, one of the big major differences between this and Man of Steel, regardless of however you feel about the movie, it wasn't written and structured to be the movie that kicked off a cinematic universe.
Exactly, it wasn't. And actually, originally, it was supposed to be part of the Nolan Batman universe. That was the original concept.
That was the talks, yeah, and it was a bad foundation for a universe. Whereas this one, they're putting it right into a lived-in one.
I think and I have to go back and look, but I think if I remember correctly, when the Marvel Cinematic Universe did the Avengers movie, DC saw that as an opportunity to start their own universe, and they thought that Nolan's Batman was the best way to do that. So they wanted to incorporate that with Man of Steel, which is why Christopher Nolan had some say-so on that film when it came out, was part of the process of writing the script for that movie because of that reason.
And he ended up producing all 3 of Snyder's movies, I believe. Yeah.
But then the issue was that wasn't a good foundation for an expanded universe. It just wasn't.
Because, to Snyder's credit, he wasn't trying to do a cinematic universe, but people up here at WB said, hey, Marvel did this and it makes money. We want to do that too. Push, 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 push. And then we saw what happened.
Yeah, 100%. But let me ask this to everybody in the chat. I just want to reiterate this before we move on. We're going to look at some Cobra Kai stuff because there's a follow-up video for that news. So we're going to watch that.
I saw that.
Yeah. So, Paigey, have you heard the Cobra Kai stuff? If not, I'll fill you in a minute. Do you know about the issue that happened?
I saw it, but I don't watch that show. But I saw the.
But the story is funny whether you watch the show or not. It's a wild story. All right. So, are people excited for the Batman Part 2, or are people getting tired of it? Because this is the whole Marvel Blade thing to me. I feel like it's in the same bucket of stuff that they keep pushing back and pushing back and pushing back to me. Look, I will watch it when it comes out, but my excitement for it has dropped a lot over the last couple years.
They basically need to stop teasing us, throwing a cheese, being like, here's a little bit. No, well, we're going to take it away. Basically like that.
Jeez.
Stop throwing a little dangles of cheese about the Batman.
Dangling cheese? Are we mice? Are we mice here? Is that what that is?
They did this with Green Arrows and the Canary for a whole.
Do you mean dangling the carrot, Three-Nut?
Yeah, that. You can dangle the cheese or you can dangle the carrot.
I would prefer cheese. The carrot isn't as good for me.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It depends on what kind of cheese.
Yeah. I thought you were vegan.
Provolone.
I just ate a fattening ass pizza, and you're like, "Oh, I thought you were vegan." Really?
Oh yeah, vegan starting tomorrow.
Anything except pepper jack.
Pepper jack is too spicy for me. It's got too much of a bite.
Jack cheese.
Of course. Yeah.
I will say though, when you have those little cheese platters that you put out for a party, I typically just stack cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese, and that's what
charcuterie boards. Yeah, I love those.
But Jake, are you excited for the Batman at all, or no?
I mean, I didn't love the first movie. If I'm being honest, I thought parts of it were good. I'll watch it when it comes out, but I'm not. So I'm not mad at the stuff that I hear, but I'm also okay, it's another thing.
I think a way to
make first see footage from it, then my opinion might change.
I think Paigey would agree. The way to make the movie a surefire $1 billion film, 100%, is year 10 Batman in assless chaps. Right, Paigey? I feel like that would be the way to do it.
Well, apparently, I'm quoting you when I say this. Aren't all chaps arseless?
They are, but I'm doing this for you. It's all for you.
Oh, okay.
Is that were assless? That's why one of the Spider-Man had to wear a fake ass.
So, by the way, have we seen any more news about that Spider-Man noir type thing? I haven't seen anything else about it since that article.
The thing came out and
the leaked teaser or something.
Yeah, the reactions kept getting hit.
Yeah. All right. Before we do this, we did have a super chat from Cameron. So we're 6 out of 10 super chats now. $10 super chat. Thank you, Cameron.
Cameron is leading the charge.
I know. He's locked in tonight, as Paigey would say. Locked in. Not geeked out.
Well, he could be geeking out. At least his bank account's going, what the fuck are you doing?
Eric, have you seen that Elon Musk announces that hashtags will be banned from Twitter X ads starting tomorrow? describing it as an aesthetic nightmare. Well, he's talking about ads, but ads themselves are an aesthetic nightmare. I don't want ads. Like, I hate that shit.
They're a pain in the ads.
So look, if you are a company that pays for ads on Twitter, you've been blocked on my account. 100%, because you don't see the ads anymore. If somebody advertises and you can block them, their ads go away forever. You never see ads from them anymore.
Right.
But now they have these little mini ads that you can't block. They're like, I don't know how to explain them. They're not accounts. They're like separate little tabs that come up as you're scrolling.
Yeah.
But
stacked on top of any ad that might be there already.
Yeah. So you get double ads sometimes. It's really annoying. But it's because Twitter is a money pit for Elon. So
hey, the money pit. I remember that movie. It sucked.
Right. Well, that's what Twitter is for him. But yeah, I would say Twitter ads in general are an aesthetic nightmare. So how about that? Yeah, I've seen so Facebook ads are also annoying, right? So like if you go to look, I barely use Facebook because it's awful. But when I am on there for work, because I have to go through and manage several pages, if you go to someone's profile and you're just scrolling through their page, you will see an ad on their page now. And it reminds me of that Black Mirror episode from this past season. Does anybody else watch Black Mirror this season?
No.
There's an episode, spoilers for like a 4-month-old show. There's an episode where somebody gets brain surgery and they get an implant in their brain to help keep them alive. And unless you pay for premium, you randomly start saying ads. Like,
apparently the show's speaking to me now.
Yeah. So you get a brain implant. I'd be sitting here and Paigey would say something like, what do you mean cheese? And I would go, Hormel cheese, tasty and delicious. You can get it online now for $5. And then I would kick back into my normal self. And that's what the person does. Like they've just got ads coming out. It's pretty crazy. But I was just like, it's too real. That's too real. All right. So we're going to follow up on this Cobra Kai thing. Now, I only saw a little bit of this video, but apparently Martin Kobe has been accused, even though people saw him doing it, we use the word accused, of biting Alicia Hannah Kim at a fan convention on her arm. He was confronted by her and her husband, and then he was kicked out of the convention. So this is his follow-up to that, just in case anybody's wondering. Here we go.
You cannot bite people. That is not okay.
That is assault.
And it's 100% up to her if she wants to pursue charges. I'd like to understand why you did that.
I apologize. I was just playing because we're very playful together, and I bit down too hard, and I meant to.
She's got a mouth mark on her.
I know.
No, we do not play like that. I
apologize.
No, I am really pissed. You have left a mark on my body, which in your 80-year-old brain, you think is play. Sir, were you raised in a ditch? Is that how people treated you when you were a child? You yelled at me. The audacity. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
You definitely should not have done that when you are in the wrong.
I'm very sorry that I got angry because I was indulging in something improper by doing that, and I'm very sincerely sorry.
Oh, it's like a bruise.
Rick, is this not insane to you?
Yes.
She cleared him. 100% clearance. No overhead at all. Were you raised in a ditch? I've never heard that insult before. She sounds like, is she from Australia? Is that an Australian saying?
Maybe
Raised in a
British.
ditch?
I know, or something like that.
I think that's something Tasmanians would say, like Paigey would say that.
Wow.
I think. Right? Raised in a ditch.
Raised in a ditch.
I know the term "raised in a barn." Maybe it's a.
Well, 3W, you just said dangling cheese, so I don't know if like.
Yeah.
When you leave the door open, someone will say, "Were you born in a barn?"
And I would say, "Have you been dangling cheese?" That would be my follow-up.
What's her full
cheese is
name
delicious. Hannah. Wait. It's Alicia
Montana,
Hannah Kim. Alicia Hannah Kim, I think is her name. I don't know anyone that bites playfully to people in public like that.
She is from Sydney. I just looked.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So Pagey, is raised in a
No,
ditch like a
no. Raised in a ditch. Raised by a bitch?
I mean, I don't think raised by a ditch has any geographical ties.
So it's just a really good insult, basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that now. I'm going to take that term and just put it in my Rolodex in my head.
No, Eric, you know what you should have done?
What?
People in the chat will not get this, but you should have took the story you were telling us last week, looked at those people and said, were you raised in a ditch?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I should have done. All right, so we got a couple super chats here. We're up to 8.
There's a version called Die in a Ditch.
I've heard that before. Yes.
Yeah, it's just the same as like die in a hole or something like that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Kayla Callahan with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Kayla. Do you think a deadline would help get the script done for the Batman? I know it's Matt's baby, but can you put their foot down? I think that's what Paigey was saying. Like right now, they're kind of okay with it, sort of doing whatever because of the Superman situation. But if Superman underperforms and doesn't live up to what they need it to, they might fast track the script for the Batman. Wasn't that what you were saying, Paigey? Like
essentially, like if they know that they then have to go, oh shit, okay, now we have to bring out another weapon that we didn't think we we're going to need to.
Yeah.
You know, because they could, if like Superman performs, and they say, okay, well then we just go to Supergirl, and then we just go to this, then we go to that. You can keep going.
Because Supergirl's going to come out no matter what, because it's done filming. It's in post production.
Yeah, like there's, but if Superman doesn't do it well, it's like, well, fuck. Now we got to do something here. And here's the thing: if you went up to 100, I'm gonna say people on Twitter, but that's like a cesspool. So like, maybe just 100 people that go to line up to go watch Superman on opening night. We'll use that as a reference point. And you asked those 100 people going in, would you scrap? Oh, how would I word it? Would you rather have Batman DC or Batman Part 2?
Right.
What would you rather? Like, what's more beneficial for you guys as a quote unquote DC fan?
Because the first Batman movie made money for them, so they're going to look at that as a more of a guaranteed thing than a new Batman, essentially.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was, a risk whenever it was a new Batman at the time too.
Yeah, but now it's got a proven value to it. Yeah. I think is the issue.
Right.
Somebody the other day, someone showed me. I think I was on a stream. We were talking about like why Hollywood does so many remakes and stuff. And if you go through and you look at every year for the last 5 years, almost everything in the top 10 of every year is either a remake, reboot, continuation, or some sort of spiritual successor to another property. Like there's almost no new things in the top 10. There might be one or two, but it's almost fully dominated by just nostalgic stuff.
And a number of them aren't even good.
Right, but they still end up in the top 10. That's the thing. However, this year it looks like Minecraft is going to be in the top 10 at the end of the year, most likely because how much money it's made. Lilo and Stitch will probably still be in the top 10.
Probably.
So
Minecraft didn't
still be too.
Minecraft didn't hit $1 billion, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
And Lilo and Stitch is like 980 million or something. Close. So
and I think it's been confirmed that it's there's a Lilo and Stitch 2.
Yes, there is. They've already said there was going to be. And they said it's not going to be the same as the continuation of the story.
Stitch has
considering what the first film, what this first remake film did, they can't really do the second movie.
No, because they left things out of it. So there's no way for them to do it. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. So this is interesting. Connor here with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Connor. That Peter Safran and Matt Reeves quote is from July 2024 on the Superman set. It's not recent at all. Well, Andy, our friend Andy from Screen Rant, posted it today, 13 hours ago.
Can you link me that, Eric?
Yeah, let me look here. I'll do it too. Let me see. I can pull it up on screen here and show you, actually. So right here, you scroll down from here, 13 hours ago from Andy.
Yeah. And
it's right here. With no attribution from, just says here, the interview at Omelette, but there's no date or anything listed. So why did he post it today, then? What was the point of that?
What was the point? Yeah.
Holding my tongue.
To get clicks?
Well, I mean, I could understand if there was a follow-up to that, but if it's just more speculation, it's kind of a waste because it's not listed as an editorial piece.
All right, I just found it. Jesus.
Let me scroll down here. No, there's nothing here that says that it's an old quote. You have to follow like a trail of breadcrumbs to get to it.
Or a trail of cheese.
Ah, cheese is good though. I have to follow a trail of cheese.
Let me see if I can find the thing that I quote tweeted a little while ago, coming from that same site. That was just the most nothing article I ever read. I quote tweeted a while back. So let me dig right quick.
Okay, so while you do that, South Texas Shark dropping a $2 super chat and a team member. Thank you so much for your contributions. What did you watch this week? Well, Pagey's here, and I'm pretty sure Pagey watched some stuff this week, so he can chime in on this. What did I watch this week? So I've been watching Murderbot on Apple, which is really good. Very short episodes. I think they're like 21 minutes long. They're way too short, but I'm enjoying that. I just finished Lego Masters Australia, which is the best version of Lego Masters. They did an international battle royale, which was kind of fun, with all the other Lego Masters from around the world.
Is that like Fortnite?
No, it's not like Fortnite. I mean, that would be interesting with Legos, but I mean, it is what it is. See you later, Reed. Have a good night. What else have I watched this week? I've watched a couple movies. What did we watch? We watched
White Chicks.
No, we didn't watch White Chicks. God, what was the name of the movie? I don't remember the name of it. It's on Prime.
That narrows it down.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see
a few thousand.
I just sent you that article that I quoted a while back, and I made a thing saying how it wasn't news at all.
Let's see here. Deep Cover. That's what we watched on Prime. Deep Cover. Which was
Deep Cover.
Good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good. And of course Ironheart, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. We're at the hour and 15-minute mark, so I'll be covering that in a second. I'm sure Pagey doesn't care about that, and it doesn't matter to him. Does anybody else watch anything exciting this week that you want to share?
So I watched Ironheart. That was pretty good. Paddington. I saw all the 3 movies of Paddington finally, and then I watched Coach Carter.
Okay.
Which is old movie based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And then old. Well, sort of old. It's during my childhood apparently. Passengers I also saw. And then I watched a few anime shows like The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I re-binged it.
Oh, you'd already watched it before?
Yeah. Because there's a season 4 coming out.
Well, Neon, we are going to talk some spoilers for Ironheart. So I don't know if you want to see those or not, but I'll give everybody a heads up before we get into spoilers. But it's only 3 episodes left, so it's a very short investment.
I just sent you that other thing that is not news whatsoever.
Is it from Screen Rant as well?
Yep. It was just word salad.
All right, hold on. Let me see what this is.
I don't...
the casting choice for DC's new Batman.
Yeah, did you see that article?
Yeah, I did see this one, and it's also by the same person.
Anyway. Right. No, I even quote tweeted. I said I thought this was a news site.
Yeah. All right. So is everybody? I know Pagey doesn't care about Ironheart, so it doesn't matter to him. But 3W, you seen it? Did you watch the first 3 episodes, Jay?
Yep.
I haven't yet. No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't want to.
I eventually will.
I don't want to spoil it if you care about the first 3 episodes and spoilers.
I'll eventually. I'll probably get caught up by next week.
Right, but do you care about like minor spoilers this week, like in the episodes or whatever?
No, go ahead.
I'm not sure how. Like, I will not spoil where episode 3 ends, but I am going to talk about stuff in the first 2 episodes. So, but let's go ahead and do this quickly because I want to talk about this and get through all this, and then watch the Fantastic Four trailer. I'm saving that for the end because most likely that'll get claimed too. Jose, I haven't watched Squid Game, so I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
I don't know if Disney will get you for that. They're generally pretty pretty cool with that stuff.
They've been cool so far. I didn't get claimed on any Ironheart trailers, so I don't know about that, but we'll see. So Ironheart is currently #1 trending on the Disney Plus US shows. Look, I'm happy about that, but anytime a new show comes out, it almost always goes to their #1
Yeah, it
trending
doesn't
spot.
matter. That doesn't indicate the quality.
Right. So let me talk about the quality of the show without like giving too many spoilers away. So the first 3 episodes, the production quality is like a movie. They're essentially like movie quality episodes. They're much better than, and I love She-Hulk. I think this is better than She-Hulk in terms of production quality. I think it's way better than Secret Invasion in terms of production quality.
It's not hard.
I think for me it's up there with like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Cinematically, it reminds me a lot of like Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? So that's kind of the bar I'd put it at. I didn't like it as much as I liked WandaVision or Loki, you know. I think those shows have more interesting stories in them in terms of like the mystery aspect.
They're also telling stories that are meant for TV, unlike a lot of the other ones.
Yeah. But this one is extremely well done. I would say for me, it's up in the top end of the pack of the Marvel shows. Like in the top 5, probably, of all the shows that Marvel's made. This is a hot take, but I think it's a better produced show than Daredevil was.
Ouch.
And I love Daredevil. But I think Daredevil it was an editing nightmare for them, the first season of Daredevil Born Again. I think season 2 is going to be a much better judge of what that show is going to be.
Not gonna lie, I thought you meant the Netflix ones.
No. I'm talking about Daredevil Born Again.
I was like, ouch.
Like, you can tell Ryan Coogler was very involved with the production of this show. That's the level it's at. This might be a hot take. I think the CGI in this is better than the CGI in Wakanda Forever. I think it's better than the CGI in Black Panther. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that that Jake dropped out of here. Maybe he didn't want spoilers. I think it looks better than both of those things. But the show has been in post-production for like 2.5 years. So they've had time to go in and like clean it up and fix a lot of problems that they might have had with the VFX and the CGI. So I don't think that's a big surprise, in my opinion. 3Dub, what do you think of it?
Like the mystery behind, the mysteries that they tell were kind of like intriguing. I'm not going to go into what mysteries there were, but they do kind of like wrap them up too quickly, in my opinion. Like it felt like it should have like lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And it should have been like 6 episodes, because when you have 6 episodes, everything's moving fast, and basically.
Chainsaw says Jake knew I was going to comment and bailed.
But yeah, I like the jokes for me landed. Her backstory kind of like I felt it. Not going to obviously tell what it was, but
I mean, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So I mean, you don't have to say it here, but I am going to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, just generally, did you enjoy the first 3 episodes or no?
I did. The third one was my least favorite of the 3. But I did like 1 and 2. It set up strong.
Right. Paigey, are you going to watch this at all? Or is it just not in your radar at all?
I've already watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I didn't watch episode 3 because I can be fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode 2 ended with that, and I'm here.
I actually thought that was good though.
Was that episode 1?
I don't remember, but I did remember it. Yeah,
because,
it was 2 because it was after
and he was
she
cutting
met
the flowers.
Joe McGillicuddy or whatever.
Yeah.
Ghost says I think the 3rd episode was the bst of the first 3, and 3Dub thinks it's the worst. So look at that. So,
I have my reasons why I don't like it.
So yeah, there is. I'm gonna answer a couple comments here in the chat. Honestly, no offense to you guys, but you know how I roll, right? I've been really kind of bored by the show. It's only 3 episodes so far. I mean, I guess that's fair. I think the crew is really badly written. Hood is pretty okay, but his crew is so bad and so cringy, and I don't care for any of them. I mean, that's all subjective stuff, and you're fair to have that opinion. But badly written is such a nebulous statement. Like, do you mean their dialogue? Do you mean their motivations? Do you mean their personalities? Do you mean their story arcs? Like, no offense, Ghost, but it can't be all of that. Like, you have to have something specifically that's not working for you. Some sort of necessary reason why. I feel like they're making Riri way too unlikable. I actually liked her better in Wakanda Forever. I think this is why I always go back to this, because I know Paigey used to scold me about this back in the day and kind of steered me in the right direction when it comes to TV shows. If you're not feeling it, you're totally, like, stop watching it. I get it. I did it with Legend of Tomorrow. I keep bringing that up. That was one of my favorite shows. I started disliking it. I stopped watching it, right? So that's totally okay. But when you're talking about the journey of a character, you can't judge the beginning of that journey. You have to wait for it to get to the end of the season before you can make a statement about who that character is, because it is a progression. It's like you're starting somewhere that might not be a good place, and that character is going to slowly over time grow and become something more than who they are. And if by the end of the season that doesn't happen, I think it's a fair statement to be like, I didn't like that character at all. But judging them so early, I think, is wrong. I think it's wrong. It reminds me of Ralph Dibny, right? So Ralph Dibny is a character on The Flash that I trashed hardcore. And Paigey was like, no, just wait. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And then, of course, by the end of the season, going into the following season, he became like a fan favorite because he had a great journey that he went on. And I think that the issue is a lot of people are judging Riri on a weird scale where, and I'm not saying you, Ghost, but I'm saying in general, a generality here. They're judging Riri based on the very beginning of her story. You know what I'm saying? Let them cook with the show. We're halfway through the season, and she just gets to the point where she starts to question her life and her decisions. There's a lot of great things that happen in the first 3 episodes. Like, not to get too deep into it, but like, she starts out at the beginning being very selfish. She's a selfish character. And you see that throughout the first couple of episodes. By the time we get to the end of the 3rd episode, we start to see that she regrets that. You can see it. You can see how it's affected her. You can see how that's affected her because of Natalie, because of her AI. You can see how that's affected her because of her family. So there's a lot of things that are changing with her character as we get through those 3 episodes. And we have 3 more episodes to go. So I have to give a shout out to Paigey, who's actually here while I'm answering this comment, that's not the way I used to view it. I used to complain about character motivations and overarching stories for the whole season in like 1 episode. And I don't think that's a fair way to judge a character. If that makes sense.
No, if you want that, go watch a movie where you get everything done in 2 hours.
Yeah. That's
how if you're going to watch a TV show, you're there for the ride. Like, sure, if you're like after like 5 things, like there's nothing you like. 5 episodes, might I say, or 3 episodes, or even 2 episodes. There's nothing in the show that grasps you or makes you want to watch.
Then move on.
Okay.
You move on. Yeah, you don't have to
watch something that you want to watch or try something new.
Or come back later. Like if it's not grabbing you, wait till the whole thing's done and then come back and binge the whole thing.
Or as Lance does. I think Lance said he did this. He just loads of hentai tube and just goes away. Old reliable.
Jake has returned after Chainsaw left. So
Wait, what? What did I miss?
Chainsaw said you left because he was about to leave a comment. So.
Oh, okay.
I was like, all right. So Serenity here says there are mysteries that were wrapped up. We are watching different shows. The only mystery is the hood, and we still don't know anything about it. I think there's far more mysteries in the show. Should we go through some of the mysteries in the show? I think there's a lot of them. So let's start with the big one. First of all, we don't understand how Natalie functions. We know that Riri created Natalie, but Riri doesn't even understand why Natalie is doing what she's doing or how it even worked. How she created that.
There was also the mystery of who Natalie was before the AI.
You mean like as her best friend?
As her best friend, and how she, ended up.
Yeah. I mean, there is some of that, but I think the big thing is that's one of the big mysteries for me. The other mystery that we're dealing with is Ezekiel. Like, why is he doing what he's doing? We still don't totally know because he's not being 100% honest.
There was also the mystery of what motivated her to build this suit and who was actually the Iron Man fan.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if we'll ever get to that in the show, though. I feel like that's one of those things where you just gotta piece it together yourself.
I mean, they did wrap that up, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like I don't know if we'll explore further
past
into that story. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's a mystery straight up. I think they are the things that you just want. The mystery is usually like something that they present to you. They like, I guess, dangle the cheese, if you want to call it.
Right. We don't understand all the different characters in the gang, like their backstories. We still don't know all of them. We got a little summary of them.
Obviously, there's a lot of mysteries, but I mean, like, for me, like, when I say mystery, I mean, like, makes me question what's going on. That's what I call mystery.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a ton. I mean, and we don't even know how he got the hood. We don't know how he got it. You know what I mean? We don't even know that yet. So there's a lot of them, you know. Cameron here with a $5 super chat. Have you seen the Good American Family Show, which is a true story about Natalia Grace? I don't think I've even heard of that.
There's plenty of bad American Family shows.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've heard of that one, honestly. So no, I haven't seen that one.
If it's like a Different Strokes spin-off or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this one. I did start watching the Melissa Benoist show on Netflix, though. I've watched the first episode.
God. Was it good?
So, I mean, it's interesting so far. It's
talking about the fucking DC TV show. What's wrong?
I mean, like, it was suggested to me, so yeah, there it is. Anyway, Serenity followed up here. I'm a little confused by this response. I'm going to be honest. Okay, I'm not watching the show for the mysteries. It's a heist show, so that's what I come for. I honestly have no questions save for the hood. Everything you guys brought up, I'm not thinking about. I want to be very respectful here, but I don't really know how to answer this. Like, you have no questions about any of the characters in the show at all?
And I'm here.
I'm just being honest. I don't know how to respond to that. I feel like if you're watching a show that has questions and elements of it that build the character story and you don't care about it, I'll be quite honest, I don't know why you're watching it.
Because usually when you have mystery, it makes you more invested into the show. I mean, wonder what the answer is.
If I'm watching a show and there's nothing for me to think about or question, it's like, what am I watching at that point? That's just me. You know?
Well, I think if it's not getting a response, I think if the show is built around it, and that's like, I don't think I was going into Ironheart. I mean, I think the show is better than I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's great, but I think it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't go into it expecting like some mystery, unless they randomly chuck some random twist in there. The only thing I was sort of curious about was...
Oh, I knew there was going to be mystery because we have characters we've never met before, so I felt like they weren't going to answer every question.
Yeah, but that's like, I think there's a difference between a mystery and just an unanswered question.
Well, yes, but I think that can be rolled into the concept of a mystery. Like, it's a mysterious past on a character. But if I get what you're saying. Like, I'm not thinking this is going to be Sherlock Holmes. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, no. I don't think there's going to be characters running around with a magnifying glass, trying to figure out puzzles and stuff like that. But when I say mystery, I mean just questions that the show brings up, like things that we don't know. Like, we go back to like the Flash season 2. There was a lot of mysteries in the Flash season 2, but it's not a mystery show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't expect them to like uncover puzzles or for it to be National Treasure or something like that. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, this isn't Dick Tracy.
Yeah. For me, a mystery is something as simple as like wondering what a character's motivations are. You know, like, why is that character doing that thing? That's a mystery to me. So for me, that's all interesting, you know? The show's not perfect. I mean, there are issues with the show. I'm not over here saying it's like the show is absolutely, it's above reproach. There's no complaints about it whatsoever. But yeah. Let's see. Hold on, was there a comment here? Oh, Keyblade. Master Jeffrey, one more super chat. One more teal super chat.
Do you have poll options already?
Yes, they're already up. Yeah, they're already up.
Cool.
I wasn't sure if you were coming in, so I just went ahead and did them early. So
gotcha.
Maltra says, "Damn it, now I need a Dick Tracy reboot." Yeah, yeah. All right, so I do want to talk about. Let's see, where is it at here? We're gonna do one like cringy sort of. Well, actually, we'll do two posts about Riri here. So this is one of them that I saw, and I'm like, really? How it started, how it's going. So we're comparing a supporting character on the show who has maybe 10 lines of dialogue over 3 episodes to Tony Stark in the Iron Man suit.
Saw that same template whenever She-Hulk came out, and they ended that one episode with her twerking. Saw the exact same template.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well, that was Eric's favorite episode.
which one?
The twerking one.
Oh, I do love that episode. That was a good one. Megan Thee Stallion all day, every day. But I saw this one, and then there's a similar one here from an actual like site called MCU Source, who did the same thing. A picture of Iron Man next to a supporting character in the show. I'm like, bro, what? Like, what are we doing here? So the only thing I can assume is they're being homophobic.
That and they want clicks. So they're
Well, no, that's number one. They want clicks, but the clicks come at the cost of like subtle homophobia because they're picking the one gay character that has very little lines in the show, and putting it next to Tony Stark and saying this is not the same Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore.
They won't outwardly say that's the angle they're going with, but it's clear as day.
But I mean, but okay, so let's pull out on this, right? Pull out on this for a second. If that's not that was a good one.
I saw that.
I'm going to switch it up. Rewind. Okay. Zoom out on this one. Okay. We're going to zoom out on this one. If they're not being homophobic here, what are they saying? Like try to put the puzzle together without it being anti-gay.
Well, technically, you can make it they're being racist. So do they want it to be?
It could be both. It could be both. Without it being one of those two things, what else is it? What else could they be doing here?
It could be.
We know it's for clicks, so it's for money. I get it, but what is the joke? What are they saying?
Well, it could also be like anti-green hair.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Oh, they better.
Well, I'm anti whatever hair you're got going at the moment, Eric. You must be as well because you're hiding it under a hat.
They better hate the Joker then if they're anti-green hair.
Yeah, no. I think it's very obvious here that they're pinpointing a supporting character with very little dialogue, a gay character on the show, and there's several black characters, so I don't think it's necessarily that because almost the entire cast are people of color. So they're singling out the gay character in the show. And they're saying this is not the same Marvel Cinematic Universe. So my issue with this is they say that they don't have a problem with gay characters in shows as long as they're not being swapped out for someone else. Like if this character were being swapped out for Riri, right? And it was a gay man being Riri Williams in the suit or whatever. I mean, you could discuss that, I guess, a little bit if you wanted to. But the point is, this is a character whose backstory and entire design in the show is 100% made for the show. Right? That's the point of this character. So they can't even deal with a character created specifically for the show that happens to be a gay character. What? How many openly gay characters have we had in the MCU? We had the Eternals had one.
Was it Joe Russo's character in Endgame?
Well, yes, that one. That was true.
So
1.5.
Chavez's mother?
Yes. The Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Yes. And Wiccan in Agatha All Along.
Would you count Loki was he?
No. Loki, I think Loki is pansexual canonically, but they never talk about that, I don't think. What is that? We just be quiet? Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. My point is that there's so little of gay people in the MCU. When you do something like this, to me, it jumps out as like they're making a big deal out of nothing.
Right.
That's my issue. And we have one more tweet we're going to look at, and then we're going to watch the Fantastic Four trailer. But we do have a super chat here, which brings us to air horn. I believe I think that's all of them, right? That's 10. Yeah, we reached the goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that other thing going to be done tonight, by the way, that list that you had us make from the previous one?
I don't remember what the list is, but if I did say it was going to be done tonight, then it will be. 3W, you remember what it was?
Powers.
No, that one. No, we're saving that one for Darren. That one's
okay.
saving.
The one you did last week was that Underused Arrowverse characters one.
If you haven't done it, then no.
I already have a list made.
Okay. 3Dub, did you do a list?
I can do one, yeah.
Oh my god, 3Dub. Are you kidding me? Underused Arrowverse characters? How did you not 3Dub? Come on. All right. Anyway.
I came up with that list like right as soon as we got done streaming.
I know, but I mean, like, the thing is, you've had 3 days, 3Dub, 3 whole days, and
I like doing things on the fly. You never know what I'm going to pick.
Okay. $10 super chat from Cameron. The Good American Family Show is a true story about the 7-year-old girl who was adopted by a family and falsely claimed that she had been an adult pretending to be a child. What? Hold on, wait, let me read this again. The 7-year-old girl who was adopted by a family who falsely claimed that she had been an adult pretending to be a child.
I think I heard someone talking about this. Cameron, can you tell me that there's like... To confirm it, because this is what they said that they were watching, and I was like, what the fuck when they said it?
I don't even understand. Like, explain this
when
so I
they're
can understand this.
following the girl, and like she's claiming that she's a child, all of a sudden there's a scene where she's having a bath and she has full-on pubic hair.
What?
So
wait. Hold on. So it was a 7-year-old girl who was adopted by a family.
It's an adult pretending to be a 7-year-old.
Okay, girl. So that makes more sense to me. Now I get it. Okay.
Okay.
So she was pretending to be a child to get adopted by a family.
Oh, okay.
Is that what we're saying here? She pretended, right?
Yeah, but she was from like Sweden or something, or like
no. But I'm saying like she was older and she was pretending to be younger to get adopted by a family. Is that right?
Something along those. I haven't watched it. I just heard it like secondhand. But it was something.
That synopsis just gave me a headache.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ugh.
I don't even know where to go from that. Like that. Okay, all right. One more little Ironheart thing, and I promise we'll get through that, and then we're going to watch the Fantastic Four trailer. All right, so this is an account that I get it if you guys don't want to contribute to this, but I'm going to.
Who the fuck is Bile or Bill?
Okay, let me show you the account, and then we'll jump back to this just to give you an idea.
Can I ask quickly? Would this guy use that "Daddy's Home" Trump clip?
Yes, like I'm showing you right now. Staunch Trump supporter who's wondering where all the arrests I voted for. Men's right activists. This is my only account, X account. Any others are fake. Okay. So I'm going to clear this bitch right now. Okay. So he starts out using descriptors for who he is, which is something that this community says they don't like. They don't like descriptors. They don't like pronouns. They don't like when people talk about their ethnicity,
labels,
their sexuality. Yeah, pretty much any of that. And he starts out with that. So right away, red flags. I'm both black and gay, and I think the Ironheart show is an absolute abomination. Why? All right, let's do this here.
Zephyr brings up a good point in the comments too, by the way.
Well, I'm not even going to click on the whole profile. There's no telling what's on there.
Right.
Okay, so this first line, Disney is training young black girls to have no moral center.
What?
Training. Bro. It's a TV show. Like, what kind of training are they going out like and practicing out in the real world to be in a Iron Man suit?
They have a secret handshake or something? What is this?
I mean, by this standard, what is the MCU teaching white men? You know what I'm saying? Look at all the awful white. I mean, look what Kingpin does. Are they training white men to go do stuff?
Look at John Walker.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of fucking standard is this? Training young black girls. Look how black in big letter. You're training young black girls to have no moral center. News alert, you either have a moral center or you don't. It's not something that you can teach someone. If somebody is a person that's going to do bad things, they're going to do it because they're a bad person. Not because they've been trained to be a bad person, because they're just a fucking bad person. You're not going to training. Are you kidding me? All right.
Never thought I would see that kind of verbiage used.
Here we go. Through Ironheart, they're teaching young black girls and all.
Why
I
is
just
he
imagine-
emphasizing? Why is he emphasizing?
Because they're making sure you know.
that criminals can be heroes too. Again, by that same standard, how many characters in the MCU have come from a troubled past and end up being a hero?
And also, why is this demographic the only one that is apparently being taught this?
Exactly. Where is this standard for anything else that Marvel's made? Why is this the only show that this is the problem? Like, I don't get that. And that you don't have to actually do anything good to consider yourself a hero. Again, back to what I was saying before, we are 3 episodes into a 6-episode series. So we have no idea where Riri is going to end at the end of all of this. But it doesn't even matter to this guy because he doesn't give a fuck about the story of the show. He's literally just doing this because he knows that it's going to get a lot of clicks on Twitter, right?
Mission accomplished.
She teaches them it's okay to be selfish. Well, actually, she doesn't, right? I was talking about this earlier. At the beginning of the series, she is a very selfish person. And then through the course of 3 episodes, she starts to learn that being selfish, keeping it to yourself, not being honest about your emotions is actually detrimental to you as a person.
It's almost like learning that as character growth.
It is. And that's it. Like, that's what we're doing here. They're bringing a character around, like she's going down a path, because here's the thing. If she would have came out and been perfect from the start, they would have a fucking problem with it. They would call her a Mary Sue. If she came out and she was perfect from the beginning, they would say it's just another Rey from Star Wars, that in Captain Marvel, where everything she does is perfect. So now you have a character that's not perfect, that is not doing everything the best way possible. Now they're saying that this is teaching people that you can not have, you don't have a moral center. You can do bad things and still be a hero. Like, like you can't have, they just don't want women and black people to be in media being portrayed as anything. You can't be perfect. You can't be flawed. You can't have a 3-dimensional person, a character. It's crazy. Okay. She teaches them it's okay to commit crimes to achieve your goals. Really? So that's the moral of the show. That's the moral of the show. That it's okay to commit crimes to achieve your goals. Did you even watch the 3rd episode? Did he even watch it? She teaches them that power is the only thing that matters. How so? How so? How does she do that? Let's go down here and read what he says that happens in the first 3 episodes, because this is where it gets really funny. During the course of the first 3 episodes, she gets expelled from MIT for skipping classes and using excessive university resources to build her Ironheart suit. It's almost like she's taught a lesson in the first episode that doing bad things have ramifications.
Plus, Spider-Man did something very similar to this in his movies and no one complained.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a double standard. There's already hypocrisy here, right? Yeah. It's just intellectually dishonest media. But the thing is, he complained at the beginning that it's teaching people that doing bad things, or teaching young black girls that doing bad things is okay. But he admits right here in the very beginning of the first episode, she gets expelled for doing bad things, which would say the exact opposite of that doing bad things is not good because you get expelled from school.
Actions and consequences.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Joins a criminal gang. Again, it's a 6-episode series. It's a 6-episode series. Commits breaking in it. Oh no! Oh no! While we're ignoring that Tony Stark himself sold weapons to other people, anybody that would buy arms from him, and has a track record of killing roughly 75,000 people over the course of his time in the MCU. But she's did breaking and entering. So that's a problem.
Breaking and entering too. No one complained to him.
Becomes an accomplice to nearly killing a security guard during a heist. Oh no! Doesn't Tony Stark go around shooting people with missiles in his first movie?
Doesn't Matt Murdock go around beating the hell out of?
Doesn't the Punisher do this? But Ironheart did it.
In the 3rd movie, he threw like a bomb in the pool and like literally shattered the guy's face.
Yeah. Well, Chris, my point is basically that there was no ramifications for anything that she's done. Because his argument is that she's showing people that it's okay to be a bad person. But that clearly isn't the situation. She got expelled from school for doing something bad. steals technology, which she did not. This is another fucking problem. She didn't steal technology. When she's in the suit leaving from MIT, they say in the dialogue that she paid for the suit with her own funds. That is why they didn't go after it. That's why when she's flying around with the actual MIT AI in her suit where they could track her and they log her out of the system, they don't come looking for the fucking suit. She's not hiding out. She's at home in her own house. If MIT wanted to get their technology, they would come and fucking get it. But they don't, because in the dialogue it says that she paid for the suit. Uses the Ironheart suit for vigilante activities, such as smashing a truck. By the way, hasn't happened in the show.
Not yet.
So this is him using the trailer. He's not talking about the show. Sells technology to a criminal gang. Oh, did she sell technology to a criminal gang? Did she actually do that? 3W, do you remember her doing that?
I don't think so.
No, she never does that. It never happens. She takes money for helping them. She doesn't sell them technology.
Nope.
So this is a lie. Launches a missile strike against cops. Did that happen, 3W?
Nope.
I don't think she's fired a single missile yet in the show.
What show did this person watch?
There was a bullet. There was a bullet, but she wasn't the one firing it.
Maybe, just maybe, this might be a long shot, Eric. I'm not too sure, but we brought it up with Lance before. Maybe he watched the hentai version.
Maybe. Matter of fact, when she is stopped by somebody in security, she doesn't want to attack him.
And that's
she makes a point. Right. She makes a point of telling Natalie, like, boot back up, give me my helmet. She was going to fly away from there. She didn't want to attack him. She didn't want to hurt security. 100%. The Hood did it. She didn't do it. It never happened. So here's the thing. Ironheart is not a hero by any stretch of the imagination. But how is she not a hero? Like, you've lied about her motivations here. In fact, in a real superhero show, she and her friends would be the villains. It's almost like you need to wait for the next 3 episodes to happen before you judge her character. It says here, she does not one redeeming thing in any episode. Not one redeeming thing.
Oh,
that's really interesting.
Damn, that next comment.
Yeah. We're going to get there. She doesn't do any redeeming thing in the episode. I think it's very clear to me when I was watching this that she's on a personal journey, that she's trying to better herself, and she's stumbling through it because she's struggling in a world where she doesn't have access to money like Wakanda or like Tony Stark. That's pretty much the basis of the show. She's not out here saving people like a hero yet because she is not there yet.
Yeah.
She has not reached that point.
You know, kind of like something that Peter Parker would do in his early stages.
Right. Says here, she's what black parents don't want their children to be. Interesting. Considering there's many videos with Dominique going to different facilities around Chicago where children are there. They may be in school. They're children that are waiting to get into foster care, to get into homes and things like that. Being excited, showing up, seeing all the smiles and loves on their faces of them being happy that she came in and made an appearance. And for Disney to sell this garbage to the movie is made by black people, or the show is made by black people.
Right. Ryan Coogler's at the fucking helm for this thing.
Are you kidding me? Ryan Coogler produced it. It is a black-made TV show. There's so much absolutely wrong stuff in this tweet. It's lies. Most of this is lies. And for Disney to sell this, here's a prediction. The show will be disowned and taken off Disney Plus just as fast as their lesbian Willow show was. Prediction. Because, wait, has Disney removed any underperforming show in the past? Like, I don't know, Secret Invasion?
And Willow wasn't even
still on there.
Willow wasn't even a lesbian. You know what? Never mind.
Willow, like fucking, what's his name?
The guy from the I can't remember the actor's name.
Warwick Davis. Is it?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My point being is this
Is
is
he a
what
lesbian now?
I don't think so. I don't think so. My point being, though, is that this is one of the many videos, tweets, whatever I see that's full of just fake information. There's so many things here that just didn't happen in the show, or completely. It's a bit of disinformation about things that and how they occur in the series. And my issue with this is, if you want to judge the show after you've really watched it and you decide it's not for you, that's absolutely fine. But when you have people doing stuff like this, going up here and saying something like, I'm both black and gay, which somehow is supposed to give you more credibility on the statement you're making about the show.
You know what he didn't add to that?
What?
That he was also smart.
That's true.
That would have just been another lie.
But yeah, I mean, my whole point is, and I've said this before, like, if you don't like something, it's okay. But when you have to lie about it to make other people dislike it, that's a problem.
Can you click on his photo?
Well, I'm not going to click on his profile, but I'll hover over it.
Why is the hat so big?
I think it's AI. It doesn't look like a real picture.
Yeah,
it looks like
okay.
an AI
Yeah, because
picture.
the text is pixelated on it.
Yeah.
What does it say?
I think it's a MAGA hat, right?
Yeah, it's a MAGA hat.
What does MAGA stand for?
It's Make America Great Again is what it stands
for. Don't Paige
Clip
knows
that.
what it means. He's just like he's trying to get
Fuck you.
He's trying to get us to say it. Yeah, that's why I didn't say it. That's why I didn't say it. Anyway, all right.
God damn you.
I was like, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. You fell for it.
But there's a lot. Look, there's a lot more cringy racist takes about Ironheart, and my issue is that most of them are just lies about the show. I'm having a good time with it. If you're not, nobody. I would say this is probably one of the easier shows to just not watch if you're not interested in it. Like, you can just ignore it and go watch Fantastic Four or whatever else you want to watch. A lot of the Marvel shows don't matter much anyway, because after Secret Wars, they're probably going to reset a lot of them. So
yeah,
it doesn't even matter. But if you're interested, go check it out. It's a good show. I had fun with it. And I'll talk about the finale and stuff next Thursday. All right. With that being said, we're going to watch this Fantastic Four trailer. Now, I've not seen all of this yet, but I did see like a couple of clips of Silver Surfer. So let's get ready here with this Fantastic Four trailer. Hold on, do we have a super chat here? Yeah, we'll look at that super chat in just a minute, Cameron. All right, here we go.
Famous around the world, please welcome the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch.
I love you, Johnny!
And the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
Oh, he's going to say it at some point. He's going to say it at some point.
That's just in the cartoon. Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat.
Hey, what time is it?
It's dinner time. Get inside.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I herald his beginning.
Herald.
I herald your end. I herald. Galactus.
Oh, the CGI looks so much better now.
Yeah.
Get us out of here, Ben! Hold on!
Ben's piloting the ship again.
we safe?
I notice.
I don't know. The clock is ticking.
Oh.
We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
Well, she's very pregnant then if,
You don't wanna just
if they already have the baby.
Crush him.
I like that. The four of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
Ooh, the stretching looks really good.
Yeah.
I kind of, every time he says what time is it, I kind of want to say summertime from High School Musical.
Oh my god.
Famous.
And I like how on Johnny you can still see the design of the costume under the fire, because with Michael B. Jordan's Johnny Storm you could not see anything underneath it.
I want to point out this is that scene from the commercial that they used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a commercial that came out there. They were saying there's a character missing here, but I don't remember which commercial it was. But yeah, they're saying there's a character missing in the scene. I don't think there is. I think that was just somebody like saying, "Oh, it's probably another character." I don't think so.
They said that just because there's a space there.
Okay, so I think maybe hot take here. This is a better trailer than the Superman trailer. Anybody disagree with me or agree with me? I think that this does a better job of explaining to you what the movie's going to be, because with Superman's trailer, I still don't really know what that movie is.
I think we got way too much of that Superman marketing in 1 week, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. This to me looks like you have a clear idea of what we're getting when you go to the theaters. It's got it sticks to its aesthetic. It's got a clear vision. I think it establishes the villains very well. I think that it tells you the kind of world they exist in, all in like this 2 minute and 24 seconds. So
I'll say to Shaq's point, I think it's good that they're keeping the story with Superman hidden, and it's not as though this is completely traced out. Like, we don't know it's A to B to C all the way to Z point, but I'm
going to disagree a little bit or push back a little bit on the hidden thing. I think DC has too much writing on the line to be vague. Like, to be fair, I think seeing Superman punching something, fighting something in an extended little scene or something in the trailer would go a long way. Like, seeing him get beat up over and over again and stuff like that, I don't know if that's the best way to market the movie.
I don't even, it's nothing against Shaq, but Superman isn't keeping things hidden at all. I think Superman's a pretty clear movie. Like, it's fucking Superman against Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's fucking with Superman and doing all this stuff and trying to ruin his public identity. I think all the trailers have made that pretty clear. I think the issue with Superman, you don't know what type of movie it is. What genre is it?
Right.
Like, what's it falling into? Like, we don't know, because now it's coming out that apparently the movie is much sillier in the actual movie than the trailers are giving away. But I think what Fantastic Four is doing, I think it lays it out what type of movie it is. It is this cosmic, retro-futuristic, family.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I mean.
Well, they laid that out.
And that's why I think Fantastic Four has done a better job with its marketing in regards to what we're seeing with these trailers and stuff. I think Superman is doing better, seeing that this movie comes out. It comes out 2 weeks later, and I guess Superman's only done it really over the past week, so Fantastic Four has about 2 weeks to catch up. But I think in the actual trailer stuff, Fantastic Four is doing a better job. But I'm still looking more forward to Superman than this. But if I was a very neutral person where I didn't already have that allegiance where I preferred DC anyway, I'd probably be leaning towards Fantastic Four if I didn't have a bias towards either, just because of the marketing stuff.
Those 2 weeks before Fantastic Four is going to be the most telling for Superman to see what it can do without competition.
I honestly get a vibe that we're going to see pre-version of what they were at before this Earth, and then what they're going to be trying to save this Earth too, because the whole from Invisible Woman's pregnancy announcement to her having the kid, there's a huge time. There's 9 months.
But I think there might be a time jump in the movie though.
Yeah, I think there's a time jump, but I think we're going to see backstory and Ford in present time.
Also, do you think in this trailer that they take out they did CGI just for this trailer, and they put the Thing version of Ben Grimm in that spaceship flying away when it probably should be the normal version? Because I think when you see him walking towards that sliding door or something at the beginning, it's the human version, and then when they're apparently getting away, it's the actual Thing version.
And Ben Grimm also has a beard too.
I think the beard though is part of that time jump situation. Let's see here. I'm trying to see where it's at.
I think it's a bit earlier before that.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, around there.
hold on. There you go. CGI looks really good on the thing.
Yeah, I love how they're giving him those giant eyebrows.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if this is them traveling to the main MCU. Like they're leaving.
I think it's the opposite.
I don't know. He seems a bit too happy here because isn't their world going to get like destroyed? Like, haha.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw people theorizing that this
Maybe he
might be
finds it
like
funny.
their like origin or something, but no, it's clearly not. You see, he's in his rock form, and I think they're just kind of paying a little bit of homage to that because, of course, Ben is the one that pilots the ship that gets hit with radiation, gets them all powers in the first place, and I think they're just kind of bringing that around again to maybe show a little bit of growth from there, to where maybe he doesn't feel guilty about what happened this time.
I also think that so obviously I'm not putting them head to head because there is a 2-week gap between the two movies, but
We have
I think-
Smurfs in between. Of course.
we do have Smurfs, right? I feel like Fantastic Four has a bit of a cleaner slate coming in than Superman does because of all the
Superman
baggage
has
from the-
Jurassic World is the week before as well, which I think the best thing that happened with Superman is that Jurassic World just becomes a bit of a meme. Like that's the only thing. But I don't know. I haven't really heard too much about that. Like I've seen people saying
hold
it's
on, let me
good
see
and
what
people saying
Jurassic
it's
World
bad.
is tracking right now on ticket sales. Hold
I've
on.
seen some Chat GBT generated reviews for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Let me see. All right, so they're saying a 115 to 135 million over the because it's a 5-day weekend. It's a 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
So it's got 135 million top end. Let's see. Let's just say like total. All right, let's see. All right.
Let me look at something right quick.
Business Insider has it at says it could make upwards of 1.6 billion based on the numbers.
Yeah, I mean
The
Jurassic World.
low end is 1.1. The high end is 1.6.
Jurassic World definitely has the highest ceiling in regards to what it can make.
Yeah.
Like Superman and Fantastic Four won't get close to that ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't think so. I'd be very, very surprised if that was the case. But I'm surprised its floor is even over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And
Like, you think it'd be like 800, 900.
After Fantastic Four 2, there's nothing to compete with it. So
That's true.
Well, Smurfs will still be in theaters, but never doubt the late resurgence.
By the way, that Rihanna song from Smurfs just completely died. It came out and like nobody cared about it. It was crazy to me that happened.
Well, except you.
Yeah.
By the way, did you
Okay.
ever find out because now for me, I know in Australia, Smurfs comes out July 5th. Only
Does
2
it?
days 2 days after Jurassic World. Did it change dates in America as well?
Let's see.
Superman's July 10th, which you already
No,
knew.
it's still July 18th over here.
Wow, so we get Smurfs 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
crazy
spoil
stuff.
it for you, Eric.
Pretty crazy.
What the
Don't-
hell?
What?
The poster here has a kangaroo on it.
I don't
And
know.
the tagline is "Hoppin' to a cinema near you."
Oh
And
my
it's-
God.
No, I gotta show you this, Eric.
Yeah, show me.
Hold
I wanna
on.
See it.
Hold on.
I want to see this.
Okay, here we go. I can present.
Yours truly said Paige is going to be reviewing Smurfs while I review Jurassic World.
I just hope Jurassic World is better than Dominion.
Wow, they're in a pouch.
Yeah, they're in the pouch.
You notice at
Pointing.
the very top, Rihanna is Smurfette.
Yeah, and then no one else.
Right.
Is
no
that
other
influencer
names.
Smurf in the pouch with her?
I don't know which one that is. Which one is that?
I don't know. They all look the same, don't they?
Well,
Except for
no, they
Papa
have
Smurf.
little slight differences to them.
Of course, you would know.
Is this a Kangaroo Jack spinoff?
Oh my God. Anyway.
No, we could do a joint Rant review. You review Jurassic World. I'll review.
Yeah,
Smurf.
we'll do that. Like it'll be like Barbenheimer, but
Yeah.
it'll be Jurassic Smurf.
Smurfastic World. That
Actually sounds like a better movie, Smurftastic World. That would be better. Can you imagine the Smurfs in the world of dinosaurs? They would be like the size of a toenail.
Or Smurfs as dinosaurs.
That would be really crazy. All right, before we get to our Arrowverse stuff, we got a couple super chats here. From Cameron, a $5 super chat says, Eric, have you seen that Culture Crave posted a list of 15 highest grossing horror films ever? I haven't. Is anybody here a big horror fan? Like,
I wasn't until I got older, but yeah, I quite like them.
I'm a soft horror. I don't like hardcore horror.
I think it might be a fun thing to do during
Mike,
the
hold
5-hour
on.
stream.
Can we just go back? What did you just call yourself, 3Dub?
I like soft horror, meaning like PG-13 horror.
Okay, I thought you said you called. I thought I heard you call yourself a soft whore for a second, and I was wondering,
Oh my god!
What does that mean?
Oh my god! All right.
I should have brought alcohol into this stream.
Okay, you should have. We should do that one night. Let's do a stream where we do like it's like a open bar type stream or whatever.
Wouldn't we be called critical?
Well, obviously, 3Dub's already started by the sounds of
I was
that.
going to say, it's probably a bad idea to get him on that.
No.
I don't drink. I'm tired. That's the difference.
He's like, I'm sleepy. Leave me alone. Cam with a $5 super chat. Eric, have you seen the Dune directors directing the next? Yeah, I did see that. So the James Bond film for Amazon, it's coming out now. What I didn't see is whether or not he's doing it. Is it just for Amazon or is it coming out in theaters too?
No, it's Amazon at MGM. They bought MGM, and that means they own.
So it's a theater release.
Yeah, it's just okay. I think Amazon's owned MGM. I think for the past, definitely the last.
Actually, because look, I'm someone that loves the new Dune movie, so I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be good.
I still haven't seen Prophecy.
I like Prophecy better than some of the stuff in the movies, to be honest. So
that's fair.
The show's actually pretty good. But yeah, I'm curious who James Bond is going to be. That's going to be the big sort of determining factor for all of it.
So,
all right.
God, if it's Chalamet.
So just so you guys know, we're going to spend about 15 minutes here doing our bonus for the stream, which is underused Arrowverse characters. And I'm sure Pagey's going to tell us whether we're right or wrong with our list. Because I know Pagey doesn't have a list. So
no.
We're going to start out with me. I'm going to go first. And then we're going to go to 3Dub, and then we'll go to Jake. And then
I made the list. Why am I going next to last?
Because I don't want you taking any of mine. So
he learned his lesson.
Hey, it was payback from you taking mine in that same stream.
I wonder if we're going to have any of the same ones in this. I don't know if we will or not.
Probably.
So, okay. So my number 5 is someone that started out with a lot of promise and then quickly became very plot convenient. And it sucks because this is a character who, in the comics, is someone that is said to be the most feared by some of the most powerful characters.
I already know who this is, I think.
Do you? Okay.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
In Supergirl. So many things they could have done with Martian Manhunter, and they did not. And it bums me out because they went as far as to make him look close to like the comic book version when he was outside of his human form. And they even set up a story on Mars. And we just never really got a lot from his character. So he's, even though he was a main character on the series, I feel like he was very underutilized. Yeah.
And it never really felt like it because the more and more that you keep seeing him appear outside of his Martian form, which I get because of budget, but it still just felt distracting.
All right. 3Dub, you are up next. Who is your number 5 pick?
Number 5 was
You better not pick the same one as me because I will be so mad.
He was quick to enter and quick to leave.
Okay.
And yeah, his name is Julian Albert.
Oh.
It felt like they were just doing him for the Harry Potter reference.
I think he was actually supposed to be in the next season, and then it didn't work out, right? Wasn't that happened?
Yeah.
Paige, do you remember why it was that he didn't come back? Did they ever say why it was?
It was Tom Felton did like a Broadway or some sort of play in between the seasons, and then I think he extended his run or got too close to filming, and it was like breached on his contract or something.
Oh, okay.
So they just cut him, and that's why Ralph Dibny takes he doesn't show up until like the 5th episode or something.
That makes sense. All right. With that being said, Jake, now it is your turn. Who is your number 5 pick?
Well, this is the one I wanted to talk about the most. I was afraid it was going to get taken. Thankfully, it didn't. I'll go ahead and get this one out of the way first because I have a feeling one of you might have it. This is a character who seemed like they were going to be around for a lot longer than they were.
Mm-hmm.
Had a pretty recurring role for a while.
Okay.
Then left. And then showed back up again, not nearly enough times. And that is Roy Harper.
Oh, okay.
And, they had him as a main, I believe, through seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Arrow, he was a main. And, well, I don't think season 1 because he wasn't brought into the back half, but I don't think we got to see him as Arsenal nearly enough. And, I get that Colton Haynes, had his personal issues that he was dealing with in seasons, 3, which is why he didn't really appear that much. But my biggest issue is when they brought him back in season 7.
Mm-hmm.
And for a majority of that time he was there, he was relegated mainly to the flash forwards, which just completely wasted bringing him back as a series regular because there's a lot you could have done with him in present day.
Right.
The fact that Oliver has just revealed that he was the vigilante the entire time and that Roy wasn't. So now that Roy's name is cleared, there's a lot of story potential you could do there. And they just didn't do nearly enough with him, especially in the later seasons where, he was a regular in season 7, but it really didn't feel like it. And then they chose not to have him as a regular in 8, but instead give series regular money to 4 flash forward characters. So yeah.
All right. Well, he's not on my list, so that's okay with me. I don't know if he was on 3Dub's list.
Nope.
Okay. My number 4 is a character who had a lot of potential, had a love interest, but left to go be with God, and not in the bad way. And that is Jesse Quick. Jesse Quick. Yeah, Jesse Quick is someone that I thought could have been a really good addition to the show. But just like with all of the speedsters, there's only enough budget to have one speedster around all the time.
Yeah.
And so she couldn't stick around, just like many other speedsters on the series.
When they did that episode where it's her, Barry, and Wally against all those gorillas, I was amazed at what they were able to pull off with that.
There's a lot, if you go back and you watch, there's a lot of moments that I think we'll remember where it's like, I can't believe they pulled it off with the budget they had. But yeah, I enjoyed Jesse Quick.
Tell that a character is knocked out for a scene or two because of budget. They can't have 3 going around at once.
Yeah. All right, so 3Dub, what is your number 4 pick?
This one is also an alien.
Oh. Hold on.
He was.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
he was a he felt he was a good. I was a fan of him, and for he leaves the show. He comes back a few times.
Okay.
And he's not there staying. He doesn't stay permanently, which I think is an underused. He was. I also liked his suit, and my number 4 is Mon-El.
Oh, the DC TV show Ben loves Mon-El as well.
I liked his humor, and I liked when I can show off my brain and and basically just laugh at his corny jokes.
Paigey loves Mon-El. He actually used to send me messages all the time telling me how much he enjoyed the episode with Mon-El in it. He would say that episode sucked, but Mon-El was really good, and I was like,
"Yeah,
oh,
you
yeah.
probably paid $500 for his cameo too."
Also felt they could have done more with him.
Yeah, Paigey wanted a spinoff with Mon-El, so
I did too.
Oh, see, Paigey,
I wanted a Legion of Superheroes.
Paigey, you got a supporter over here for your Mon-El spinoff, so
it is almost. I want to say it's quite fascinating, but also bemusing how easily 3Dub gets baited.
Because Paigey actually hated Mon-El, but Ben, the DC TV show, made videos with Mon-El and
I don't care. I still wanted the series.
No, I know you did, but Supergirl and Mon-El, all those love videos of music playing and stuff.
Oh my god, I forgot about those. Yeah. They are so bad. If you want, when you feel like you just need to be brought down. Actually, when you feel like you are down a peg and you need to feel a bit better about yourself, type in Mon-El what caramel? Oh my god!
Yeah, it was the caramel videos.
Look up those tributes.
I did two of those too.
You will see that Ben not just uploaded them, but spent time making these type of videos, and you'll feel so much better about yourself.
Yeah. He also has merch still, the DC TV show merch, so you can go buy those T-shirts over there.
But that doesn't compare to how bad those videos are. They are cringe-inducing, swamp ass. It's like awful.
They're good.
They are fucking awful.
All right, so Jake, what is your next pick on your list?
So this is what, my number 4?
Mm-hmm.
So my number 4, this is technically 2 characters, but because they're very, joined in at the hip, you see these characters together a lot, and I would say that they were both equally wasted, not only in, sometimes they don't appear very much, sometimes they're just given absolutely nothing to work with, and they only really had one full season to try and make an impact. That is Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Oh my god, of course.
Yeah.
I literally had them together as a pair too.
Yeah. See, you probably knew where I was going with that.
I was listening and thinking, But I have some honorable mentions, so.
Yeah, you took Jesse from me, so I took that one from you.
Wait, you had Jesse on your list?
Yeah, I had Jesse on mine.
Okay, all right.
But no, these 2 characters were just handled horribly. I thought Hawkman was essentially a non-character. Like,
you might as well not even had him on the show.
Right.
Like, what was the point?
Yeah, like they killed him in part through the pilot, and this is fucking hilarious. Their reasoning for that was, we wanted to show that on this show, no one is safe. Anybody can die at any point.
And then characters end up lasting for like 10 seasons. So
right.
It's like, whatever.
And then, with Hawkgirl, like I couldn't tell you a single line of hers that didn't refer to her past life as a barista. That just tells you how much they hit you in the face with that.
Wait, why do people keep dropping out? Where's 3 Dub?
I don't fucking know. But no, it was just bad because they're actually really cool in other forms of media. And whether you look at Hawkman and Black Adam, both of them in the Timberverse.
Hawkman was great in Black Adam. Probably one of the best parts of that movie.
Probably the best part for me.
Yeah.
And you look at both of them in the Timberverse cartoons. They're really good. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, this is one of them. Let's do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh god. It's giving me a migraine. Oh no. Okay, I can't take it anymore.
Holy Mother of Saints.
Oh, that was the DC TV shows channel that is now Ben's Take, which is funny because he has a bunch of merch with the DC TV show on it. So I don't know.
Videos and posts like that are what resulted in things like Olicity.
I need to talk to him again. I need to message him because right before he changed. Okay. All right, hold on. Sidetrack from this.
I don't dislike the guy at all, by the way. I've streamed him before. He's a cool guy.
No, he's fine. I have no issues with Ben. But sidetrack.
Well, I have a slight issue with the facial hair he sometimes tries to grow.
True.
Really bad. But anyway.
No, we rib on him a lot, but he used to be part of our core 4. But so my issue, my issue is Paigey and I told him well before he hit 100,000 subs that he should change the name of his channel to something else because calling his channel the DC TV show was a bad idea. From a branding standpoint, from everything, it was a bad idea. He made a bunch of merch, and he did his merch different. Like my merch shop is basically, I have my designs in the shop, and then you pay for it, they print it, they ship it out, I just take a percentage of it, right? He did a different thing. He did like a sustainable, environmentally friendly, merch, like hoodies and t-shirts and everything, that I'm sure he had to buy and store and then ship out himself, because that's the impression that I got with the way his designs were done. And then he changes his channel to Ben's Take. So now he has a plaque that says the DC TV show and a bunch of merch that says that says the DC TV show on it instead of Ben's Take. So
whoops.
Yeah. But Paigey and I tried. Paigey, am I lying? We tried when he was at like 70,000 subscribers. We were like, you need to change your name to something else.
Yeah. And he went, no.
He was like, it would hurt my branding. I remember that's what he said
So-
for the longest time.
So is it? Are we gonna go to you next?
Yeah, we'll just, I don't know where 3Dub is. Before we do that though, this is relevant here. Cameron with a $10 super chat says, I remember Eric Wallace said that if there were 10 seasons of The Flash, he would bring Julian Albert and Patty Spivot back as a married couple and a team called Hot Pursuit.
He also said Blackest Night was gonna happen.
Yes, he did. He did. Look, I would love, you know what, Paigey, if you ever felt like doing it, I would love to have a stream where we talk about like Eric Wallace and what happened with The Flash. Like, I would love to talk about that, because I feel like retrospectively,
I reckon you could just call the stream Eric Wallace.
yeah,
Probably.
retrospectively,
Just like 2 words.
you know what I want to do? Actually, I'm gonna put in the work for this, you guys. I'm gonna go through.
Oh, that's a fucking change.
It is a change, absolutely.
God damn it, Eric.
I'm going to go through and watch every interview that Eric Wallace ever did for his
God.
time on The Flash, whether it be in text or in a
That
podcast.
might be. It would actually be a very interesting comparison doing that compared to just watching that Caramel tribute just over and over. For the same amount
I'd
of
rather
time.
watch
What
the-
drives
I'd
you
rather-
insane first?
I would rather watch the podcast than that Caramel stuff. But anyway. All right, so
Where
let's
is
go to
Eric Wallace?
let me go over here. Since you took my number 3, that was literally my number 3. I'm going to go with my honorable mention, and that is Mr. Terrific Curtis on The Flash.
Arrow?
Huh?
On Arrow?
Oh, yeah. No. Yes, Curtis on Arrow. My bad.
I was about to
Why did I say Flash? Yes, so Mr. Terrific on Arrow, because he had an opportunity to be a much bigger character, but he got stuck in that OG Team Arrow versus new Team Arrow bullshit.
Yeah.
And I had no issue with Wild Dog or Dinah, really, but that whole story arc brought down his character.
He was just made to be a quirky, less competent version of Felicity Smoke that's a sidekick to Green Arrow.
Right.
Also, every time those, what the hell were they called? E-spheres.
Yeah.
Whenever those came in, every season that Curtis was a main player in, they used him as a plot device to cure some uncurable injury that prevented a character from dying.
Well, did they ever explain why it is that they didn't mass produce her spinal implant? Because that's a pretty useful piece of technology that could have actually been used for a lot of good.
I think that's what they were trying to do, and then like they got fired from that company, so they couldn't really do it anymore. At least I think you're asking me to refer back to season 4, and I really
I'm just thinking if there was ever given a reason why, because I know it was a prototype, but obviously it worked.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that guy's one of like the with right up there with Batman and Lex Luthor. He is like the 3rd smartest person in the entire world.
And they relegated him to like tech support on a team.
Right.
Because anyway.
He had a really good costume, but apart from that,
yeah, I thought the costume was solid. So it was rock hard. All right. So, what is your next pick, Jake?
So I've got this is my only character from this show on this list. I have a character from Supergirl who debuted in the first season with a horrible portrayal, and then you see them pop up here and there a little bit later that looked to have promise, but ultimately didn't live up to it at all, and that is Red Tornado.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you have him debut in the first season as not looking very robot-like at all.
Right.
It's clearly just a person.
Paint on his face.
All that
Yeah.
paint there. Done as a villain, which I don't know why the Arrowverse had such a thing about that, where they take, heroes from the comics and turned them into dialogueless, brainless, one-note henchmen. Like they did it with Atom Smasher, they did it with B'wana Beast, they did it with Dr. Light, and they did it with Red Tornado. And Red Tornado was probably the worst out of those four. Probably the worst victim out of those four. And you saw him pop up again, you know, whenever they did the Earth X crossover, or even in the series finale of Supergirl, where his design definitely looked better, but they did not give any character to him at all.
Well, he was much more accurate in the crossover than he was in anything else.
Like he was still an antagonist to them because of what their goal was, but he was still a hero there. You just didn't really get to see him much as one. And he's got a lot of layers to him in other adaptations, whether you're talking Timverse, comics, Young Justice especially. And he was just so one-dimensional, so they really, really wasted that character.
All right, so...
I'm from you because I heard you groan when I said that.
No. I was trying to reach out to 3Dub to see what was going on, but I haven't been able to get in touch with him. I wonder if his internet went out. All right, so my number 2 is Barry's old CPD partner and love interest, who had narrative potential but vanished abruptly due to outside opportunities, and that is Patty Spivot.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's a lot of drama around why she actually exited the show. But I actually think she had really good chemistry with Barry on the show.
I think so too.
And Paigey and I talked about this a little bit back when it was that season was airing. Is that there was no way they could leave her in the show because she had more chemistry at that time with Barry than Iris did.
And I'd say a number of Barry's love interests did around that time.
Yes. It was a rough time for them. But there was just definitely more chemistry between them. And it made a lot of the Iris West fans mad.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think they were spending the producers were spending a lot of time on Tumblr.
Yep.
And
because that's when all the stuff on Arrow was happening too. So
yeah. So for me, that was a underused character in my number 2 spot? Yeah, my number 2 spot. All right. So what is your number 2?
So my number 2, and I've got a few honorable mentions here that I can go over later.
Okay.
This one this is going to seem like such a left field one. I have from Arrow, I have Count Vertigo.
Okay.
And because he's one of my favorite villains from that mythos, you know, his vertigo-inducing abilities, which if they were going to introduce anybody on Arrow to have some sort of superpower for him to compete against, I think introducing the comic Count Vertigo would have been way better than something, you know, like how they ended up doing Damien Dark on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, they had 2 versions of the Count. One was more like the Joker to Oliver, and then one was more like Scarecrow, where he just made people see, you know, what they feared. And that's not really the Count at all, either in personality or in, you know, physical threat, or not really physical threat, but his ability was just done by a drug. I get, you know, they were trying to fit in the whole grounded nature that Arrow had set, but it was kind of a disservice to that villain. And it's crazy to think that in a Green Arrow show with 8 seasons, he was never the main villain and only appeared like twice.
True. All right, so since Jake just went, 3Dubbers, you're...
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's fitting because on that queue I have to go as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Paigey, for joining. Hopefully, he'll be able to join me on a weekend and we can do some more chatting. So
It's working.
Yeah, obviously twerking. Assless chaps too. So.
Oh, just chaps, as you've been constantly drilling into me. Hashtag nonsense.
Oh no! Like, just leave on that one. Just leave on that one.
Nice nipples, Eric, today.
I knew it was gonna get awkward. Okay. So, all right. So where are we? I'm totally lost now.
You're number 2. Wait, no.
No, my number 1.
Okay, you're number 1.
Okay.
I feel like there's a chance we might have the same number 1. I don't know.
Maybe. My number 1 is a character that I wanted to see a lot more from. Introduced in Arrow season 5.
Okay.
Supernatural character, and someone that I think could have done a lot more for the show, but I think he was too OP for Arrow. and that is Rory Reagan, aka Ragman.
Ragman, yeah.
Ragman was a character that could have been on The Flash because his powers were that powerful.
Or he could have been on Legends.
Technically, yeah. I actually thought he was going to go to Legends at one point, to be honest. But on Arrow, he was just too OP. He was too OP for the show. But I wanted to see more from him. And this is a character that I didn't really... Like, I knew of him from the comics, but I didn't really care about him. But once he came on the show, I was like, holy shit, his powers are crazy. Like, they're so good.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's my number one. What is your number one?
So we did not end up having the same number one. But my number one, we did see this character throughout the show that he was in a good chunk, but kind of similar to Roy Harper. We didn't see him in his hero persona nearly enough. And that is Wally West.
Oh, good choice.
And, you know, there was, again, kind of like with the character of Patty Spivot, there was, you know, some drama behind the scenes as to why Keenan Lonsdale didn't want to be on the show. And you can.
But when he came back, like later on in that one episode, he was amazing. Like, it was so good to have him back again.
Yeah, and you know, both he and Roy Harper were kind of in similar situations to where, you know, they are the main hero sidekicks from the comics, although for Wally, it's only kind of. They really only had a single season. Both of their instances was the third season where you got to see that hero and sidekick dynamic, and then he really didn't appear for long after that.
Right.
And whenever he did, it was nice to see him again. But it was so sporadic. And then the way that they ended his character, I admit, he felt more three-dimensional than he did in that season 6 episode.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the last time we saw him, it was like, I want to see more from him again.
But you're setting him up for something, and the show's about to end. So
that's why I wore all this today, is because I was feeling very like Arrowverse. So I wanted to do a little something there.
And I have a couple honorable mentions that I can throw out there too.
Well, I want to do my honorable mention first. I was going to say Maxwell Lord from Supergirl season 1.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because he completely disappeared from the show. And it was like because of cost of bringing him over to Vancouver. But I would have loved to have seen more from him. So, but that's my only honorable mention, because my other one was the one we swapped out for Hawk Man and Hawk Girl.
So there were 2 honorable mentions that I had. I put Count Vertigo on my list when he took Jesse from it. One that I had, this was a minor character that got brought onto the Flash late, and we really didn't see much of her, only for a handful of episodes, and that is Mina Dawn, aka Fast Track. And I got kind of excited in the later seasons whenever they were bringing another comic speedster in, but then they ended up going down that whole, you know, amnesiac Thawne story, and that didn't sit right with me either. And of course, that was in the point of the show where their budget was pretty much at an all-time low, so that you didn't really get to see her powers in effect that much. But from the Flash comics that I had read her in, I thought she was a relatively cool character, and I wanted to see more of her.
Right.
And then the last honorable mention that I had, kind of similar to you when you said, you know, that in the case of Maxwell Lord, there was a character that completely disappeared from the show. This is also another character that completely disappeared from their respective show, and that is the Huntress.
Oh,
completely disappeared from Arrow after that Birds of Prey centric episode, and 100%. There were attempts to bring her back later on, and they just never did. So, despite her comic character having more heroic ties, the show pretty much made her into a full on villain, and we just never really got anything from that character other than the 4 episodes, I think, out of the 170 that she appeared in.
Yeah. So Naruto here chiming in. Good to see you, Naruto. My 5 are Thea Queen, Roy Harper, Wen Shot, Wally West, and Earth One Laurel. Earth One Laurel is a good one.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think they could have done so much more with her.
Yeah, but according to Guggenheim, her story was just done.
Yeah. One who really got screwed over was Slade. Okay.
So after his main season, I can say that because of the whole BSWB Blacklist thing. I get why people would have wanted him to appear more, especially after seasons 5 and the start of 6. But at the same time, I don't know what more you could have done with him because he had already went through so much development.
Fetman says my main one was Huntress. So her last canonical appearance was in the Arrow season 2.5 comic. Wow.
Yeah, she did appear in that tie-in comic. That's right.
Maltor coming in here with a list. The rival. Interesting.
God.
Ragman. The D&D storyline just dropped completely.
Right.
Huntress and Anarchy. Okay.
Anarchy. Yeah. Okay. That was another
Wildcat 2. He just got beat up and left.
Yeah, I brought that up last time when we were talking about costumes. He
Yeah.
shows up in costume, if you can even call it a costume, one time and then just gets destroyed. Everyone thought he died, but no one cared.
All right, we have, I think it's going to be the last super chat, and we're going to wrap everything up here. 3 dubs in the chat. We'll pull that up here. Cameron Walker with a $5 super chat coming through. We're almost going to hit the goal here. We got till Monday. Monday will be the last night for this goal, and I think we'll hit it. Eric, have you seen that Michael Bay will return to direct a new Transformer movie at Paramount? Oh no. Oh no.
Transformers 1 was so good, though.
It's just like some of them were so bad. I'd
argue all of them except the first one is bad.
Let me see something. I'm going to check something quickly.
I think the first Transformers from 2007 is watchable in terms of live action, and then every live action movie after that, with the exception of Bumblebee, I think is just bad.
The Bumblebee one is really good.
That's really, really good.
I love it because it's got such a clear story behind it. I'm going to check here.
And as a fan of the original cartoon from the 80s, the fact that they had original Starscream in that movie, I squealed at that.
Okay, but let's I'm going to look at the numbers here, right? So Transformers 2007 had a $145 million budget and made $709 million, right? Transformers Revenge of the Fallen had a $195 million budget and made $836 million. Transformers Dark of the Moon had a $195 million budget and made $1.124 billion. Transformers Age of Extinction had a $210 million budget and made $1.15 billion. Transformers The Last Night, this is where things start to go downhill, had a $260 million budget but only made $600 million. So almost half of what the previous one made. And that was 2017, so there was no COVID situation there.
Age of Extinction was the first time I walked out of a movie theater midway through the movie.
And that was one that made the most. Bumblebee was only a $100 million movie, and it made $460 million.
Yep.
So it did turn a profit. Transformer Rise of the Beast, that one was the one that suffered after COVID. That was a $200 million movie.
Is that the one that came out in 23?
Yes.
Yeah.
It had a lot of issues with filming because of COVID.
That was also a stacked month.
It was, and it only made $440 million. So it cost double what Bumblebee cost and made less money. So that is probably why they're going back to Michael Bay, if I had to be honest. So, let's see here. Where's 3 dubs list here? All right. So Rip Hunter. Oh, that's actually a good one, 3 dub. So Hawkman, Rip Hunter, and Evelyn. You're talking about Evelyn from
Artemis.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was kind of underserved as well.
She was. But yeah, Rip Hunter. A character they got rid of for no fucking reason.
No.
They could have kept him around.
Yeah.
Firestorm. Firestorm was weird because they split them off and then the whole storyline was like him trying to deal with not having powers.
Right.
So.
And I found it weird that they didn't just call Franz's character Jason Rush and went through the whole trouble of introducing a Jason Rush onto the Flash.
Right.
Who isn't Firestorm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get what the point of that was.
It's like they just didn't have a clear vision of what they wanted to do when they introduced them. So.
No.
All right, so let's see. We're going to end the list and see what our Monday discussion is going to be, according to you guys. Here we go. What does
I
it
did
say?
put my vote in.
What does it say? Hold on, is it popping up? Top 5 90s cartoon shows won by a landslide. 43%.
Okay.
So top 5 90s cartoons. So that's any cartoon between 1990 and 1999.
It can, by the way, it can have started in the 90s and bled into the 2000s.
Yours truly, do you want me to add the Suits thing to another poll, like the one on Monday? I will
That was the one I voted for.
Well, let me add that one on to bring it back. We'll bring that one back on Monday. Let's see.
Just as an option?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's see. So top 5 90s cartoons.
The ones with the decades.
Wait, DCEU best or worst suits was the one.
I voted for worst personally. I don't. He didn't specify in his comment.
Well, I will put both up again. We'll put both up again. So
yes, Hassan, I agree. That character should have been used more.
The Human Target, Arrow season 5 should have been used more. Yeah.
I mean, so a lot of people don't know this. That character had 2 TV shows. One in the 90s that lasted 1 season, and one in like the early 2010s that lasted 2 seasons. But a lot of people still don't know about that character.
Yeah. There's a whole TV show about that character too.
There's 2 of them, yeah.
Oh, really? That
yeah.
Is that what you were just talking about? The Human Target just now? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, one in the 90s, one in the 2010s.
Okay, so I didn't know the 90s one. I can watch Transformers 1 and 3 and Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast movies over the bad Transformers movies. So the ones that did the most money are the ones that everybody thinks are the worst ones. That's pretty funny to me.
Like I said, I think the first Bay movie is watchable, and the only good live action one.
Oh, good night, Naruto. Have a good night. Yeah. So I have a very apprehensive take on Michael Bay coming back for Transformers, but I guess they feel like they want to set it up for success to make more money. I mean, you could just make better movies. I mean, I feel like just Bumblebee made money. If you can do a Transformer movies on 100 million, just do that and keep making movies like that.
Yeah, just make, hell, that is one of your biggest, I'm not going to say untapped because they made so many installments, but there's so much cinematic potential there. Like, you could just make those solo kind of movies for every single Autobot if you wanted to. Yeah. And make them for low
100%.
budget.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, do it for people like, Sideswipe, Ironhide, one of my favorites that never gets talked about. Prowl.
Chris, I didn't look it up. So you can double check and see about that.
Hold on.
The Pamela Anderson VIP series, I never even watched that one.
Me either.
Okay, let's see here. Make sure I got everything. Are you looking it up before we close out?
I'm trying to see if I can find it.
All right. By the way, shout out to every single person that super chatted, whether you contributed to the goal or not. If you super chatted, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Shout out to Cameron for really being generous tonight. I do appreciate it. We have almost hit the goal for my cat's surgery, so that's great. Her surgery's scheduled for about a week and a half from now. Oh, the Hollywood Handle is where Cameron got it from.
Oh, okay.
No one mentioned Vixen, but Staggervore, that's a really good choice. So,
yeah, especially the Mari McCabe Vixen that you saw on Arrow, because they wanted to bring that Vixen into Legends. Actress wasn't available, so they
went with like another version of Vixen.
Right, which I don't know why you couldn't have just recasted.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they've done it for other characters.
Yeah, so. I mean, hell, they took one actor, Joseph David Jones, and had him play 2 characters, like the future John Diggle Jr. and Connor Hawke, even though that's a whole weird situation, but you get what I'm going with.
Maestro, it will be posted tomorrow for anybody that is a channel member, whether it's the Debunks or the Reloaded channel. You will get a Discord invite tomorrow. And when you come in, I will give everybody their title. So what will happen is, for anybody that's a channel, that's a good time to promo this. If you would like to get early access to the Discord server where you can chat with me and everybody else that's part of the show, we're all on the server. You can promo stuff there. You can leave suggestions there for videos and topics, all of that stuff. If you'd like to get in early, meaning like at least 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks early in that server, you can become a channel member on either channel. You just hit the subscribe plus to become a channel member. Any tier, lowest to highest tier, gets in. If you're on the Reloaded channel or the Debunks channel, both of those count. You will get a link to join the Discord server tomorrow evening. When you join the server, you will tell me which channel you signed up for, and you can select which tag you want. Do you want the Reloaded tag? Do you want the Debunks tag? It's up to you. It doesn't even matter if you want one of the other and you're not a member of that particular channel. You can pick which one you want. And it will be a special tag you'll have on the Discord server that will show up in a separate group on the server. So everybody will see that you are a channel member. On top of that, you will have a special separate channel to chat in as channel members as well. So if you'd like to do that, all you have to do is pick whatever tier you want in Debunks or Reloaded. There is a low tier. I think it's $2. It's whatever the lowest amount YouTube would let me do when I set it up. So you sign up for that tier and you will get early access to the Discord server and special badges in the Discord server and a special channel in the Discord server.
Woo!
So it's a lot of fun. And I'm even thinking about the fact the special channel, I might be able to do it where it's a voice channel. So if people want to get in there to chat, we'll be able to have them chatting with us over here through Discord, through the chat channel.
All right, cool.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So if you guys ever wanted to be a part of that, this is your opportunity to do it. Hit the subscribe plus on either channel and become a channel member today and help support the channel. I do appreciate it. You also get early access to videos and stuff like that. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to get out of here tonight. I want to thank everybody. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a super chat. We'll stop for a super chat. Cameron with the $5 super chat. I think Mick, Rory, and Ray got screwed over on Legends. So, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'd say Ray peaked in his debut season being Arrow Season 3 because as soon as he moved over to Legends, he became way too much of a goofy character. Never really leaned into his Adam attributes that you saw. Hardly used the abilities at all. You didn't. The more and more the show went on, you hardly saw him in the suit.
Yeah,
and he just became a parody.
And I will say that Heatwave never ever recovered from losing his partner because they had a good chemistry between each other.
Yeah,
and it just he didn't work as an individual character, unfortunately.
Yep.
He should have, but they designed him to be part of a pair with Heatwave and Captain Cold.
I mean, I'll give Dominic Purcell credit. He did his best, and he always brought a lot to it as an actor, but it wasn't a lot.
I mean, he had shining moments, but I think overall he just never got to that point. So, anyway, I want to thank 3Dub for coming through and being here, even though his internet disconnected. Guys, check out 3Dub Studios channel. I want to thank Paigey for showing up. I was actually going to talk to him about what's going on with his channel, but he had to go because he hasn't uploaded a video in 4 weeks. So I know his fans are probably really wondering what's going on with him, but we'll try and pin him on that on a weekend stream. Also want to give a shout out to Jake for being here with us and hanging out. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out Jake's channel as well. And everybody that super chatted, everybody that came through and did it, again, whether you contributed to the goal or not, and Cameron for definitely coming through and doing everything. I do appreciate it. We're going to get out of here. We will see everyone, or I'll see everyone on Monday, and I'm doing a video tomorrow. I don't know what it's about yet, but we'll see. And again, when you guys get on the Discord server, if you're a channel member, you will definitely be able to contribute to topics and videos for the channel. So that is another bonus as well. Anyway, we're out of here. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see everyone on Monday.